So of course, just one athlete out in both men's and women's at the moment, and as the competition advances, we have more and more athletes on a 5-minute on, 5-minute off rotation. Following the IFSC format for the rules. We'd love to hear from you. Sorry, Sasha, I was just about to say, we'd love to hear from you wherever you're tuning in from. We're live on Instagram, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Drop us comments, drop us messages. We'll do our best to keep abreast of those and respond when and where we can.
Medical Director Professor Dr. Volker Schöppel begrüßen zu können. Volker ist ein Extremkletterer ebenfalls, seit vielen, vielen Jahren der Arzt der deutschen Nationalmannschaft.
So far, both competitors have yet to receive the zone hold.
Yeah, so as we were saying, now's a good time to talk about it a little more. We've had these Ticket to Rockstars events, and these have been something that had been dabbled in the past, but we've never had it in the same scale that we have it now. So there were events all over the world, 20 events, I think, total. I was at 6 of them, and they were literally on 5 continents. We had over 5,000 entrants, and the winners of each of those competitions came to Stuttgart yesterday for the Ticket to Rockstars Open Jam. So there was 50 competitors that were open, and then there was the winners of those Ticket to Rockstars events, and then the top 3 Ticket to Rockstars winners and the top 3 Open Jam winners make 6, and those 6 people are now in the semi-final. So we have a 26-person final here, which is quite different to what we'd be used to. But what that means is that these athletes that have tried so hard, put all this effort in to get into this event, actually get to compete against the very, very best. And so these are the people that you're seeing now. Those will be the first 6 in the rotation in both the men's and women's competition.
Oha is really holding her body composition to have that toe hook stick. She is so close to achieving that zone hold, but she needs to hold her core a little bit tighter.
So, oben bei Stefan ist eine schwarze Linie, das heißt, das ist eine Linie, die da völlig überschreitet.
So far, Liam, it looks like on the men's problem, they're following your sequence of going right hand first versus my left hand.
Right toe hook really makes a difference.
Gehen wir es an. Nimmt er noch einen Versuch. Ach, schade, aber ja. 5 Minuten Start. Heißt also Rotationsprinzip.
So here he goes. Oh, and just misses the zone, and that's time up. So that's the end of that rotation, and now we go to our next rotation. Christoph Schweiger for Germany is out in the men's competition, and in the ladies' competition, it's Iran's Rahil Ramazani.
Und wir freuen uns auf die 18-jährige Iranerin. Welcome on stage, Rahil Ramazani.
Das ist Nala. Hat ihr Visum am Mittwochabend bei der Deutschen Botschaft bekommen. Mit dem Taxi zum Flughafen Donnerstag hier angekommen, damit sie dabei ist. Come on, Nala. Christoph. Ja.
And there's Christoph Schweiger struggling with that first move.
Both the men's problem and the women's problem for the first move involved really slopey compression moves that competitors have to hold their body attention to really secure that placement.
Lots of people already getting involved in the chat. We have people from all over the UK, all over the country, all over the continent, and all over the world. People from Australia, Melbourne, Kent. I'm looking, there's all sorts of different things. Lots of different comments in there. Too many to mention. I see that some folks from New Zealand have tuned in. Some people are just tuned in to see Alex Waterhouse's shorts. If you're not familiar with Alex Waterhouse, former member of the British team, did qualify for the competition and was one of the Ticket to Rockstars winners in Great Britain. He'll be out later. If you have questions that you'd like to ask, then you can put those in the comments. We'll do our best to keep our eyes on those and answer them whenever we can.
Great job.
Rahil is really doing a great job of holding that toe hook. It's super difficult to have that toe hook up so close to her right hand.
in die Porsche Arena und hängt schon quer in der Wand. Christoph Schweiger, der hat natürlich auch
Rahil Ramazani just trying to make sense.
schon im Körper. Also gestern Abend von 17:30 bis 19:30 und hat sich da als Zweiter.
So as you'll see, those two sets of tape on the left hold that her foot was on, that means that she needs to establish 2 points of contact. That's why she's touching over to the left.
Aber natürlich kannst du merken, wie die Hände selbst, weil wenn die auf der Tribüne sind, schwitzig werden. Das ist natürlich beim Klettern noch viel mehr.
So, over with that right hand. I wonder if that toe hook's just not going to work. Interesting. I love, especially with the early boulders in the semi-finals, you know, you're just trying to work out the method, trying to find out what does work, what doesn't, just seeing what people suss out. And, you know, after we've read the boulders as well, I'm intrigued to see if someone does use that toe hook and it works in the men's. But here, Rahil Ramazani, and that was... I said that would be a tricky one. It's such a hard move to generate off the right hand there. And you said the similar thing. So he stood up there on the right-hand side.
It looks like Christoph really needs to move his body positioning over left to create some opposition on that sloping side pole.
Kommt, put your hands together. Baden-Württemberg for Bavaria.
Great crowd in this morning here in Stuttgart. A few hundred people up in the bleachers and another couple of hundred people down here at the arena side as well.
Rahil is getting really close to sticking that zone hold. The zone hold is a pretty positive hold, except that your body is in an awkward position.
The Iranian ladies very, very strong in general. You know, they train exceptionally hard. I know from speaking to various different Iranian climbers over the years and in ice climbing as well, they train so hard. They have a real culture of if they're going to do it properly, which is always really impressive to see. And because generally the Iranians are in isolation from the rest of the world when it comes to the climbing scene, I find it's often very surprising when they come out and just destroy. There she goes. That was close. Very, very close indeed. Had that right hand.
30 seconds.
We have 3 really strong Iranian climbers here with us today. Rahil is one of the 2 women.
I thought she might have stuck that. Oh, and Christoph almost caught the zone there. Interestingly, with this men's first boulder. Oh, that's it. She's so close. That men's first boulder, we talked about how short it is in stature, but they've managed to pack in some real difficulty into those first moves. No tops there for Christoph Schweiger and Rahil Ramazani. Next athletes out, Lucia Dörfel of Germany and Mikhail Kochetkov of Russia. Returning is Stefan Grimm and Olha Kulish of Ukraine.
Herzlich willkommen, 19 Jahre jung, Lucia Dörfel. Ebenfalls wieder dabei.
This men's problem has such a crazy start.
So Lucia Dörfel, tall athlete, oh look at that, hits that zone first time.
She doesn't manage to control it though. She needs to really hold that tension and get her foot out right. All right.
So she's actually in the juniors category, Lucia. She's competed in a lot of the comps this year.
Oh, looking so strong and controlled. He's really managed to move his body weight over left. And the first male to stick the zone.
And you see, Sasha, he used that hold for the left hand to bring his body across. Very smart.
Ich meine, der ist ja schon fast ein Opa, wenn man sich die Climber momentan anschaut mit 36 Jahren.
Women's number 2 is a running jump. Olha is choosing not to use those feet.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see that as a swinging start. My guess was that they would double tap the foot and then bring the right foot behind to start a swing. We'll see how that goes for her. Maybe she works that out. People asking on the broadcast, how full is the venue? Can you still get in? With the finals, get here early. Last year we did have to turn 400 people away because it was completely full. In fact, it was over capacity. So if you do want to come and watch the finals, get here early. Otherwise, there's plenty of space in here now. We generally don't hit capacity on the semi-finals, but you never know. No, she definitely needs to start that running jump. Needs the power of the legs to get her across there.
Lange Zeit und lange Möglichkeit noch mal schwer zu machen. Come on! Dabei, Michael!
Michael is the first male to actually stick that zone on men's number 1.
And there we're seeing a better angle for the first time on men's number 2. These morpho holds, very, very shiny on the outside with a little bit of texture on the inside. See, they're slightly offset, so we think the top hand just there, you can see Stefan Grimm's hand, top hand as an undercut, left hand as well, right at the bottom as an undercut, and then stab up into the Gaston. Very powerful move to that morpho sloper above.
It's a really awkward start. You can see that he's trying to figure out how to even get his body off the ground.
Yeah, I didn't expect the pulling on to be as hard as it looks, but I expected the next move to be really hard. We both thought it looked very powerful.
This women's number 2 boulder problem is a good example of the way that climbing competitions are turning into very agility, coordination-based problems, where she really needs to use relatively parkour-like movements to get a running jump over to the right side.
It's not going to work, I don't think, that method. You can see on the right-hand side again.
Come on, everybody, put your hands together for the German National Champion, für Lucia Dörfel. Im Hitzewettkampf von Dortmund deutsche Meisterin geworden.
So 2 feet on. She is one of the shorter competitors. I wonder if that's got something to do with it. Maybe needs to attack it a little bit harder. She's definitely not jumping into it.
Oh, Stefan just got so close to controlling it.
Yeah, he was very close then. So just less than a minute remaining, 45 seconds in fact on the clock for these athletes.
Something Liam and I both noticed was how unique these holds are.
Yeah, I've seen iterations of these holds before, but I don't know if it's because they're just super shiny new and we're up close and personal, but certainly some of the morpho holds look different to what I've seen before. And the cheetah holds, Lauren Laporte's brand, just little variations on what he's had in the past, tweaks to the shapes, and they're really quite very aesthetic, but look great to climb on.
These holds on men's number 2 are actually dual tech, so you can see that the shiny black portion of those holds actually have no friction at all. Still no zone for women's number 1.
Got the results up there on the right-hand side for you.
In Liverpool, our second place and women. Put your hands together for Alex.
So Alex Waterhouse joins us now on the right-hand side in those fancy shorts, and the ladies competition all the way from the USA is Kylie Cullen.
Kylie actually had a really great domestic performance at a recent bouldering competition, actually winning in a stacked competition against Alex Johnson and Alex Puccio.
Nice. Yeah, definitely one to watch. And only 15 years old. Was a standout winner in LA. Yeah, fun story about Alex. He competed in the Ticket to Rockstars event in Plymouth. And wow, he just jumped to that zone like it was a joke. Come on, Alex. Former British team member. Paused from the British team to take some time out to study, and I think he'll be making a return in this performance. What I was about to say was he competed in Plymouth and finished second, and he wanted this place badly. So he flew, went up to Liverpool the following weekend and competed there so he could win.
Clearly worked out for him. Here he is.
He is indeed.
Raheel trying to figure out this running jump start. She's got a different, well, actually the same approach as Olha.
Christoph Schweiger trying to work out those moves there.
Christoph is trying to cross right hand that black hold. Well,
Alex Waterhouse, Kylie Cullen, She needs your support. Come on, a 14-year-old one in the women's semi-final, winning the ticket to Rockstars event in Los Angeles.
Ramazani there on the
And being one of the
bouncing holds.
competing proudly in the 2024 Games in Paris at the Olympic Games.
I have both live
Tokyo.
on YouTube. It's choppy. I mean, look at Facebook. Facebook looks better.
It's interesting that all women who have tried this problem so far are trying this swing approach to the run and jump versus establishing on the wall and then creating some agility over right.
Alex Waterhouse so strong to that crimp with the left hand, puts the right heel in, keeps that body nice and tight to go to the right hand crimp, and it's a really small one, that one. Much better second time round. Little heel click on his whale down. Good start there for Alex Waterhouse.
Alex Waterhouse really controlled that zone hold in a different approach than the other men.
I'm like beaming here, Sasha. He's so psyched. You can see how much that meant to him. Awesome. Great work. Alex Waterhouse, everything to play for. Nothing to lose here. Really amazing work.
Oh, schön. Come on, everybody. I need your support. The crowd needs your support. Brian Ramazani, come on, Nala. Doing a great job. Getting that speed.
A little better. That time her hips were much closer to the wall, but now needs to dive over.
I think the issue is that the women need to generate from the left instead of coming outward back into the wall, since the movement is rightward.
On top of that as well, you can see the zone for that lady's hold marked with the orange tape. Rahil Ramazani was going with the right hand there, and both you and I, Sasha, ready to go with the left hand. And that really changed the body position, because that'll mean they dive downwards to then roll over with the left. That should keep the hips closer to the wall. So I think that's a crucial bit of beta that the athletes need to see and kind of need to work through before that's going to get sent.
First top Alex Waterhouse. Also, Alex hat es geschafft. Der erste, der heute toppt. 2 Versuche nur. Für ihn am ersten Roller. From Stuttgart. Don't stay calm. Get the storm into the arena. Crystal Schweiger from Germany. Second place in run-up in the open jam. Kali is making her way back to transition.
3, 2, 1, change.
So still no tops in the ladies' comp. Simon Benkert out next for the USA. Also won the LA event.
Simon Benkert is one of my personal favorites today. I knew him back when I was doing the youth competitions. And on the women's side, we have Luce Doudy from France.
Yeah, Luce Doudy is very, very strong climber. Both her and Oriane Berton, massively talented athletes. Luce's Youth A category in bouldering, current world rank number 2. She came first in the Youth World Championships in Argo in her category, 3rd in lead. You know, need you say any more? She's a top-ranked athlete. There's Simon. Absolute weapon, this guy.
Simon Benkert was originally from San Francisco and now sets at the gym in LA. He's been on the circuit, taken a break, and then came back.
Interesting to see a slightly taller athlete now in women's number 2. We have Lucia Dörfel, German climber there. Just trying to make sense of that very dynamic hop across.
Sie hat ein anderes Timing gewählt, was das Pendeln und das Rübergehen betrifft. Und lässt sich dann mutig nach vorne
A fun fact about the Ticket to Rockstars is that it's actually the largest amateur event in the world. And these competitors were finalists and winners, and that's how they got a ticket to the global stage semifinals.
Clues in the name. Ticket to Rockstars. There is Olha Kulish, Ukraine,
das Top am Buzzer.
Ukrainian athlete on women's number 3 now. Now this one, I would say probably like the hardest of the women's boulders, Sasha.
This climb looks so powerful. And this men's problem with that massive crossover, it will be really interesting to see how some of the top pros do it.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be an interesting one to see from that back angle as well from behind, as you see them kind of bouncing over.
You know, something about this men's number 2 is just the start position is so terrible feet.
Loose to Adi not just quite finding the move on that one. Question for you all back on the broadcasts. Who do you think is going to be the first person to top women's number 1? I see that Kevin Gillikin asked the same question, beat me to it. Who do you think is going to be the first woman to top block number 1? Start lists are available online. The next few athletes to come, we have Alma Bestvata, Yulia Kruder, Irina Kuzmenko, to name a few.
So, Ola ist eingestiegen in die Wand.
Ola considered that toe hook on the start hold, which is what I kind of predicted in our beta run through, Liam.
So, komm, was machen wir los hier? Come on, everybody, give it a swing.
There you go. So she had the hands in the right place, but the hips weren't in the right place. Now what we need to see from Lucia Dörfel is a real rotation over the hips to get that body down so that she can rotate over the palm. We'll see that one come.
When we looked at this problem in person, we could really tell just how far of a run and jump that start zone is.
I mean, it literally traverses the whole corner of wall. It's a big one.
Wie lange sie treffen wollen. Jetzt wird's richtig spannend. Come on, everybody. Loose to lead. You world champion in bouldering from Monaco on the last weekend.
Oh, see, that, Liam, to me is a good strategy to establish yourself in a stem position on that slab. Then you can generate your body position and then move over right.
So you think stand on the blue volume?
I think it could be an option. I definitely think that swinging more to the left and generating right is a better strategy than the beginning competitors that we saw moving inward.
Sure.
Oh, Simon getting so close.
30 seconds. I count you stood up for Simon Bacon from Los Angeles.
Simon Benkert with the clock ticking down. There's Stefan Grimm still trying to make sense of that first one. That first move, very difficult for him. Oh.
Another thing to note about this women's number 2 is that it has a dual textured wall. So there's part of that slab that actually has no friction at all.
Right. Okay, next athlete's coming out, Sasha. In the ladies' competition, the LA winner for the Ticket to Rockstars event. It's Kylie Cullen's back out, rather. We have another new athlete joining us this time. It's Oriane Berton, another athlete absolutely incredible in the youth B category. She is number 1 in the world and in lead, and ranked number 2 in the world in bouldering. And she was world champion in both lead and bouldering in Arco just a couple of weeks ago. Amazing. In the men's competition, we now have Max Kleesattel, another German athlete. He was representing Team Germany at Zakopane in Poland. Last week, I think it was, he came 25th and he was 4th in national championships this year. Hips not quite in the right place for that move, but promising start for Kleesattel.
Here we go. Put your hands together,
Alex Waterhouse is back. Such an animated climber.
You know, even to get your right foot up onto those 2 holes that are combined into a crack is challenging because you really need to be spread with both legs on to control that undercling zone.
That is not the easiest way for an Irish climber.
Christoph Schweiger. Schützt die Hände nochmal.
These are just our first competitors out, not yet into our qualifier competitors. It'll be interesting to see how the field pans out as the competitors from yesterday start to fill the field.
The kids need your help. Kylie Cullen, 14 years old, from Ontario, California. Come on, Kylie, you can do that.
Oof. Kylie Cullen had the right amount of momentum, but just stalled out in the corner there.
A double-handed approach is interesting.
We're our friends from the climbing here in Liverpool. That's your hero.
Kylie Cullen.
Climbing in Liverpool, the home of Shona Kapsi.
Shaking her body.
Yes, Kylie, come on.
Kylie Cullen has the right idea to palm that right hand blue hold to establish herself to go left hand up to the zone.
If Stuttgart is supporting.
She just needs to control her momentum a little bit more.
Wo Stuttgart für Max Sattel kommt. Unglaublich, Max gewinnt die Ticket zur Rockstars-Serie. Wieder ein unglaublich spannendes Finale gestern. So, Christoph wieder an der Rand.
Weltweite Ticket-Rockstars hier ist nicht nur gestern Stuttgart, sondern gestern war Finale hier. Alle Sieger zugegen. Der Vierte der Deutschen Meisterschaft, Max Krüger, setzt sich durch.
Yes, Alex, come on.
Such a minimal foothold to try and get his right foot into the crest of those two white holds. See if he can hold that compression.
Yes.
Really tricky moves.
He is a character. He is a true character, that's for sure. But he's also a freaking awesome climber. Come on, folks. Our youngster, Olian Berton, the world champion in bouldering, needs your support. Only 14 years old and conquering the big stage on Adidas Rockstars. Here we go.
Oriana's just 14 years old, and she's had such an impressive youth career so far.
I like the word impressible.
Impressible.
So still no ladies with a top or a zone on women's number 1. Rahil Ramazzani on women's
number 2.
3.
This first beta is really creative, and I think actually a good approach if she can hold that tension in her body.
Oh, so close there, Max Kleisartl. A little bit low in the shoulder.
It's interesting to evaluate each competitor's strategy as they deal with their time in different ways and control how many attempts they give each problem and how much rest they decide, especially on the first boulder problem.
So let's take a look at the standings in the men's competition so far. While we're waiting for this transition. So that's the current standings. Alex Waterhouse sits in first place ahead of Max Kleisartl, Kochetkov and Benker all with zones. Only top so far is Alex Waterhouse. Luce Duardi now on women's number 2. Starts to generate that swing and then pauses. You see there, she gets the height over the feet. It really slows down her momentum. New athletes now, Alma Bestvater and Philip Martin.
Stefan Grimm is out on men's number 4. He's our first competitor to approach this boulder problem. Starting it out.
Hey Peter, is it possible to not between the boulders when they're like...
Das ist nicht Stuttgart.
So,
You're too calm this morning, everybody. I got better memories on Stuttgart.
I see, okay.
Alma is our first competitor out from yesterday's qualifiers.
Alma Bestvater, solid German climber.
And Philip Martin.
Another German team representative.
As well as Kochetkov. Come on, Luce, allez! Beste Deutsche, Anna Westvater, Philipp Martin.
So that's Alma. National champion this year in bouldering.
Alma tried to do the move more statically than the previous girls, but I think the thing is you have to be relatively dynamic to keep moving through that paddled black sloper.
Interesting that we have there Luz Duadi opting for the stemming beta that you suggested, Sasha.
Let's see if she can generate momentum now to push off the side of that slab and get her body weight over to the right. She still has to carry momentum over. Simon looks a little bit perplexed as to how to get off the ground on this boulder problem.
Just taking his time there, trying to work out that position. Philip Martin now with that right hand crimp locked in and the right heel. Oh! Doesn't quite catch that, falling short there of the left hand. It's a reasonably good hold, but it's all left, so you've got to really get that foot over to oppose that when you hit it.
Mischendorf opting not to go feet first on women's number 3. That's the way that I would recommend going about problem number 3.
Uh-oh. There's a lot of tape on one hand there. Poor Stefan Grimm suffering from yesterday's qualifying round in the Ticket to Rockstars event. Stefan, one of the 6 athletes that qualified from the Ticket to Rockstars event. If you are just joining us, a very warm welcome to Stuttgart, Germany. You're watching the semi-finals of the 2019 Adidas Rockstars. My name is Liam Lonsdale, and you're joining me today is Sasha DeJulian.
Thanks everyone who's tuned in so far.
Let us know who you are cheering for today. You could even give us your finals lineup. You could even give us your super finals lineup, whatever you want. Stick it in the comments. We love to see what you guys think, what you have to say. We are keeping an eye on the Facebook and the YouTube, but it's also available to watch live on Instagram. But we just don't have enough devices to keep our eyes on everything. If you are watching on Instagram, the stream will refresh after an hour, so you'll need to re-watch it. That's an Instagram rule. Otherwise, YouTube and Facebook are where we're at. Big swings there from Luz Duadi. Oh, doesn't quite generate again on that last move. Still no tops in the women's event. In the men's event, the only top coming from Alex Waterhouse. Stefan Grimm finishing the competition there with no tops.
Each top is so important because it's the #1 first criteria in the ranking. It goes tops, zones, falls to top, falls to zone. The most reassuring thing that you can have is to get a top on your first boulder problem because you step out onto the stage and you know that it's important.
Julia Kruder now has won this event. Or was it Ticket to Rockstars event? She's won.
I think it was Ticket to
Rockstars. Rockstars' event. Into our pro finalists now, not just our Ticket to Rockstars finalists.
We've got someone asking where Timon and Kyo are. Something that these competitors have gone through is so many competitions this season, and I reckon that Akio, having just qualified for the Olympics, probably taking a little bit of a break to reset and recover from so many competitions.
Just speculation though, of course. We don't actually know, but that's what we imagine, and that's the discussion. And a lot of athletes actually sit in the comp out, and a lot of comps out, World Cups as well, just because they're so tired. Max Claysattel there. Just trying to make sense of men's number 2.
This is such a brutal start for the men's number 2. Men's number 4 actually looks the most like an outdoor boulder problem. Starts with 2 really heinous Gaston crimps, followed by a right hand crimp and then a left hand crossover.
I have to say, Sasha, looking at the results so far in the ladies, no tops, no zones, I do think that's going to change. I think we're going to start seeing those zones come in pretty quickly now as we get into the pros. Especially when you say names like Futaba Ito, just so solid, 16 years old, 17 now, excuse me, and yeah, we saw her in this event last year, absolutely dominating in the World Championships. She showed excellent form. I think we're going to start seeing some good, solid climbing coming from those guys.
This woman's number 4 is so difficult. Men's number 2, it seems like the way that's worked for Alex Waterhouse was to go Gaston to the second black hold rather than to try and go to the first one as a side pull.
How we read it as well. Oh, look at that swing. There we go, finally.
So close, and also I think from my shortest competitor yet.
Yeah, Oriane Bertone, world champion in 2 disciplines and world ranked number 1 in lead in her youth category. No surprises that she's managing to pull that out of the bag. Good to see some spring.
Alex Waterhouse, see if he can carry his psyche and get this big crossover move. He's got some cool shorts on, Liam.
Yeah, I mean, they're not my colour, but style first. So Alex Waterhouse now pulling onto those 2 cheetah slopers. Kicks over with the left foot, hops with the right. Oh, and there is Oriane Bertone. Oh, and she almost sticks it this time.
Oriane Bertone is the first person to actually even touch the zone hold, so that's positive progress. Of course, you only get credit for the zone hold if you control it.
Tapping in there with that left foot. Christoph Schweiger on his final boulder. Over with the left. Oh, tried to stab with the right. So much action going on now. Oriane Bertone getting millimeters closer every time, but still not quite hitting it. Let's watch that again.
Oriane Bertone is using all of the seconds that she has left to try and stick the zone.
Oh, so close. Now, Sasha, what was interesting there, as she hit that first volume, she only hit it with her left foot, and her hips completely opened. Nice top there.
Another top.
Jeanne Choudard tops. Oh, and look at that, Oriane Bertone's topped. Hopefully we'll get to see a replay of that. Here's Jeanne Choudard. So this was his top, nice work from him.
A buzzer finish.
And this was Oriane Bertone's successful attempt. Big swing, hops across. Oh, and look, it was the right foot. Got that right foot up as she caught it. So good.
You can see the energy that she had. She just kept rallying, try after a try.
Well, first top in the ladies' competition goes to the youngster, Oriane Bertone. Only 14 years old and currently sitting in first place in the women's competition.
Lusa Dowdy is on the next problem, trying to figure out if she'll go feet first, hands first, and here's Simon.
Simon Benke, the winner of the LA Ticket to Rockstars. We have 2 new athletes out as well this time. Yannick Floe and Irina Kuzmenko. There's Yannick, another very strong competitor. Represents Team Germany. Current world ranking of 16th in bouldering.
He also came,
sorry, go on.
He also came 3rd at the recent World Championships.
He did in Hachioji. Brilliant bronze medal from him. Also took a bronze medal in the national championships this year. Irina Kuzmenko took the bronze medal at the European Championships in Zakopane, Poland last week. I keep saying last week. I think it was last week. I lost my days. There's Alma Bestvater.
This is such a momentum-driven boulder problem.
Typically, Alma doesn't suit this style from the climbing that I've seen her do in the past. That said, there has been times when she's surprised me. So I wouldn't say that this is traditionally her style, but she can definitely pull this type of thing out of the bag.
When I was competing occasionally in bouldering, I was always so not excited about a boulder problem like this. And that's where I find it really impressive to watch the shorter boulders go about and just be inspired by them about how they can figure out the sequences.
Mikhail Kochetkov of Russia on his final boulder now. Going again with the right hand, interestingly.
Yannick, come on everybody, Stuttgart, Yannick needs your hands. Full Stuttgart für Yannick. Wenn ihr ihn heute Abend im Finale sehen wollt, dann müsst ihr jetzt richtig Gas geben. Genauso wie die deutsche Meisterin für Lucia Dörfel.
Lucia Dörfel, who is current national champion. I said Alma Bestvater before, but of course she won in 2018. Lucia Dörfel is current national champion.
This boulder problem number one, has still challenged every single female competitor to get to the zone.
Oh, there you go. Alma Bestvater finding the beater really quickly. That's the sort of thing you'd expect from a World Cup competitor, you know. Okay, they don't get it first time, maybe not even second, but dialing that beater in very, very quickly and then making it work.
Yeah, as you go about each boulder problem, if your first sequence doesn't work, you have to be quick on your toes to adjust and reconsider a different objective.
Irina Kuzmenko very close there. Oh, Bestvater very close again. Interesting that the time that Oriane Berton stuck it was with the right foot. Placed that right foot nice and high. And we do know that that was how it was set. That one's set by Manu Hassler. Oof. Interesting. She went across with the right hand. Did you see that? She went to pump the palm, which is how I thought it would go. But we were told it was set to keep the right palm on the lower ball and then stand up with the right foot on the higher ball. Oh, hello.
Feet first.
Oh, and it almost worked as well. Loose to a D, just running out of time there on women's number 3.
Something that I've noticed about a common theme about these boulders is a lot of the feet are really bad.
So now joining us on the mat, 2 more new athletes. This time representing Japan is Futaba Ito. And the name that I'm sure you're familiar with, representing Slovenia, 2 times Adidas Rockstars champion. He won here last year with that famous, or rather infamous, dance at the beginning with Jongwon Chon. It's Jerne Kruder.
Jerne Kruder is such a strong competitor.
Very strong competitor. And multiple winner in a lot of different competitions, including World Cups. Took a gold this year, took a gold, in fact took 2 golds 2 years ago. Very, very talented. One of the things that we've definitely talked about a lot, Sasha, this season is the inconsistency of results across the board. You know, not just 1 or 2 athletes being inconsistent, but almost the whole field really struggling for consistency. Jerne, for example, took gold medal in Moscow and then finished 34th the week before in Chongqing. You know,
quickly achieving the zone hold. The thing is, Liam, is the competitors are so strong across the board that every single day brings a different champion.
Right, one zone, one slip to the zone can make all the difference, and if you miss semifinals, then that's it.
Wow.
I'm just saying, Sasha, I'm just going to say it. Did I say Futaba Ito would top, or did I say Futaba Ito would top?
Let's see, were my headphones
Hey,
on
come on,
for that
folks.
moment?
Help me out here. I
think
did
you did.
say that she'd be the first person to top. Amazing work. Very quick work indeed.
There's
Futaba
so-
Ito of Japan topping. Sorry, Sasha, carry on.
There's so many strong Japanese climbers. I went to Tokyo on a gym tour, and there are 435 gyms.
How many?
435 climbing gyms. Clearly, with Tokyo Olympics next year, I know that Japan is very invested in climbing and producing so many strong climbers.
Futaba Ito currently ranked 4th in the world in bouldering. Best result this year was 5th in Chongqing, but was fairly consistent actually. Wujiang 7th, Chongqing 5th, Moscow 6th, Meiringen 9th.
And Max stays on looking for a prize at the moment. And Max is back on boulder number 3.
Finished 7th in Hachioji and combined, 7th in Hachioji in bouldering. There's Kruder, takes that right hand crimp. Right heel tucked into that hold there. Oh, and just misses the left hand.
Jedes Jahr eine neue Frisur, jedes Jahr ein neuer Angriff bei Adidas Rockstars.
Felix Waterhouse wants to be in with a chance on this one. He really needs this top. Yulia Kruder almost sticking that one.
Rhythmus läuft bei ihr. Aus Apoyan-Beton, die wir gleich sehen werden. Sie nutzt doch mal.
There's Orion Baton again, first person to top women's number 2.
Tom Gewinski, Japanisch heißt es Gamba Gamba, Englisch, let's go, France, alle, alle.
Orion Baton seems just a little bit too short to do that bump move.
Kylie Cullen back out for her 4th and final boulder. We've not seen much of this boulder yet on the far left-hand side, but really beautiful, very aesthetic, set by Caddy Lehman and Melissa Lenouvet, our 2 female setters teaming up for this one. See the crowd in the background there? Oh.
Be interested to see if Orion figures out to go feet first and try and maneuver that first blue pinch sloper.
Yulia Kruder, 45 seconds to go. Time is of the essence now.
Julia Kruder is generating more momentum from the left, which brought her over to the zone pretty easily, but she failed to hold that transition as she had her right hand palm down on the blue hole.
Here's Yerne. Drags that right hand this time. Oh, and his left foot just not quite tucked up enough.
Getting that left foot up on that left black foothold is so crucial to sticking that top.
And requires a lot of core strength as well. You know, you've got to lift from that left hand, which is poor. Really compress that left hand side of your body. Tuck the left foot up.
Got a transition now.
More new athletes joining us. This time in the Slovenians coming out on the ladies competition, Irska Repusic. In the men's competition, representing Russia, Dmitry Sharafutinov. There's Urska Repusic.
Urska is on the team with Yanya Gambre.
European Championships in Jakopan. There's Alma Bestvater, back out with us on women's number 3.
So far, this women's number 3 has really shot down competitors.
There he is, Dmitry Sharafutinov.
Dmitry has such strong fingers. If any of you guys follow him on Instagram, you'll see some of his training workouts that he does.
I once saw him crush a watermelon with his bare hands.
I believe it.
Dmitry Sharafutinov, our oldest competitor, 33 years old.
Dimitri Shayafutinov is a former Adidas Rockstars champion.
One of the early winners in this competition.
Dimitri's also been around for a long time.
33 years.
He's the oldest competitor, actually.
I did just say that. Loose Duadi, no tops, no zones so far.
Istanbul 4. Steigt jetzt wieder am Punkt ein. Come on, loose, allez, allez.
I love the aesthetic of this boulder problem. It's really well set by Melissa Lenev and Kati. Both strong outdoor boulderers, as well as indoor. Melissa really dominated the indoor competition scene for a while.
Yeah, Melissa Leneve, one of the top climbers on the World Cup circuit for a long time. Now focused on the outdoors. Kati Lehman also very focused on outdoor climbing, as Sasha said, but both are fairly frequent setters, so really understand that indoor style and do a really good job with it.
You know, I think something about being a good setter and also being a good competitor lends its way to being able to read sequences, and that's something that more and more as you see these competitors come out on these crazy set boulder problems, you really have to put the puzzle together and know where your feet should be, where your hips should be aligned, and how you should maneuver up these crazy volumes and abnormal holds.
Kati Lehman, first European woman and second woman ever to boulder Font 8C. No stranger to hard moves. Melissa Leneve, first woman to boulder 8B plus in Font. Fontainebleau, of course, notoriously difficult.
This boulder problem is really steep, so when you have to pinch on a steep angle, it just creates the holds to be worse and worse.
Interesting that Kuzmenko's opting for a more static approach here.
She'll have to push off of both hands in order to make that work.
I mean, theoretically that could work. You know, if she can keep the friction down through her toes, drop those heels, and push high into the wall, because that part of the wall has friction, she could theoretically hold that. Getting out of it's going to be pretty tricky, but is it going to waste too much energy to try? Should she change the beta? That's up to her to decide. That's what makes a good competitor. Dimitri Shayafutinov throws that right heel in, takes the crimp with the right hand. Half crimp as well there.
Dimitri needs to move his hips over left to really generate some momentum to get that final hold and get his foot out left.
He did get very close on his last attempt. Oh, hello. You don't want to do that. We saw, I think it was Loose Duadi that put her foot up there early, and it didn't really help.
Irina has a little bit more height, though. So
amazing flexibility.
now she... Irina demonstrating that maybe the static approach isn't exactly the way to do that boulder problem.
3, 2, 1, change.
So, little refresh there of the athletes.
Liam, coming up next is one of my personal favorites on the men's side.
He's one of my personal favorites as well.
Anyone have a guess who's coming?
Yeah, we're not going to tell you. The other athlete coming out, Sierra Black Coyle, another personal favorite. The only American competitor representing the USA. Oriane Botone back for her final boulder. Any guesses on that live stream? Who do you think's our next male athlete out?
Ito Futaba, the first woman to top #1. Not getting enough height to transition over to the right and get that zone hold. Sierra is the only female competitor from the US. I've known Sierra for a long time. We've gone on outdoor climbing trips together through our youth, and genuinely really awesome person to get to know. I'm excited to see how she does in this competition. She had a domestic win against really strong competitor field at a recent competition in the US.
2 wins, in fact. She took the Pan American Championships in 2018, beat a strong field of a lot of South American competitors, a lot of Central American competitors, and Ashima Sharishi was there. And then, the Mesa Rim Nationals event where she beat Puccio, she beat Margot Hayes, she beat Brooke, she beat someone else as well, Kyra, really good win. So we know that Sierra has the, did you just say that? No, you didn't say those names. Just checking, I just had a little flash of panic. She had, really, really impressive season last year.
Orion managed to stick her foot over to the right.
Bruce King got it right, Sasha. Jungwon Chon is out. He is one of our personal favourites. He's came second in this competition 3 times. Could this be the year where he takes first? Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're playing Bruce Springsteen.
Sierra's on the first boulder problem. Struggling to get the zone so far. And Ito generating some momentum. Let's see if she can top another boulder problem.
A little bit of information for you. If you're wondering why we're not seeing any of the male competitors, I've just been told that we have a technical incident on one of the boulders. They're actually replacing a hold, I believe, on men's number 3. So I believe that's why we're not seeing any competitors on the other boulders just yet.
It's a women's world out here, Liam.
It is indeed. As Beyonce said, who runs the world?
Girls.
Great song, by the way. Futaba Ito, she's trying to make sense of that dynamic bounce across. Orion Baton sticks that right hand. And then the next move, you can see it there, she has to kick that right foot high, crank in on the right hand, and then reach up behind her into that big blue kind of hold volume as a Gaston, and then press into that. My guess is then a match, heel in, and then out with the left, but we haven't got that far yet. We're not quite sure. That's my guess.
See, Ito Futaba is not giving up, and she's so close to sticking that zone hold. Now I think she knows the way that her body positioning needs to be.
One of the top US Americans.
I would say that maybe Orion's getting tired because it's women's number 4, but she also has incredible endurance, having won the Youth World Championships in the women's category for lead as well as bouldering. So.
Oh, and she palmed twice. So that was the method that I predicted, but I do think that it was set with the right foot, and that seems to be the way it goes. So. Instead of bumping that right hand across twice, you have to put that right foot up.
30 more seconds for Orion.
Do you think she has enough time? Maybe to secure the zone?
She did a buzzer finish before. I think she knows what to do. And
whoa! See her going there as an undercut. Interesting.
She didn't really get high enough with her left hand to get the positive portion of that hold. The zone hold is actually a really good hold, except you have to get there high enough to get the positive part of it.
The end of another rotation. So I'm not going to announce any men now until we know for sure that the men are back out. We can actually see the climbing wall from where we're sat. Our live studio has a wall between us and the climbing structure. And we can tell you from the screen that there's just ladies.
We're watching the same screen as you guys, so...
First athlete out, representing France, is Julia Chanaudy. Back in the ladies there, you see her on women's 2 is Urska Repusic.
Urska looks like she's going to go for the static approach. Now she's swinging again. She spent a lot of energy swinging and then kicking her feet in to establish and then choosing to swing again. Alma is trying to target that little blue chip that creates a pinch on that big white volume. It's difficult because it's a blind throw out to a really not positive hold on a steep angle.
You make it sound hard, Sasha.
I can tell you one thing. These boulder problems are certainly tough.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Maybe we should have a little mini competition after this, Liam. We say, go up on these boulder bums.
Yeah, I'll be later.
It'll be a far cry from the jungle where I just came from.
Then let's do it. Maybe I've got a chance. Maybe I have a chance. If you want to see that, folks, then maybe you can drop us comments. If you want to see an informal competition between Sasha DeJulian and myself, maybe we can do it backstage after on the kilter board.
Orska is over on the left establishing herself statically. And Julia is waiting for them to brush the holds.
Urska Repusic still not quite worked out the knowledge for that women's number 2. Alma Bestvater hitting the hold now, but not generating enough strength through that right hand or stability through the right shoulder to stick there.
You know, something sometimes devastating in a boulder competition is only your tops and your zones count. So if you get higher than the other competitors, but you still don't control that zone, it doesn't really make a difference, except for in finals. I believe at this competition, it'll be a tiebreaker. If there's a complete tie across tops, zones, and falls to top and falls to zone, they go back to the highest hold.
I feel like that's one of those occurrences that would be rather exceptional.
The competitors are so close in skill that really anything goes. And you see it across the men, in my opinion, more so than the women. The women throughout the season have had more of a consistent top 6 field, whereas the men, you just see such a diverse field of winners and podium finishes.
Yeah, there was definitely some consistency in winners this year in the women's competition. If you follow that IFSC circuit, as I'm sure most of you do, absolutely incredible season for Slovenia's Janja Garnbret, the first ever climber in history to win every round of a season. Unbelievable performance from her.
She's my hero.
I love her too.
She is coming out 23rd today.
And still so humble with it. She's such a chill, nice, humble person, you know?
I spoke to her briefly yesterday, and she told me that she'll probably be taking a little bit of time to actually go climbing outside in November, and she's excited about it. I have no doubt that she'll be a complete dominating factor in the outdoors too.
Yeah, when she decides to commit.
Well, we've got Claire tuning in, agreeing to the informal comp between myself and Liam.
Thomas says that as well. Well, maybe we have to do it, Sasha.
Sounds like I need to go get some climbing shoes.
Max Clay Sattel on his third boulder.
It'll be really interesting to see as the competitor field comes out. You know, already we've seen a little bit of inconsistency on women's number 2. And it is such an agility-based problem to see which female competitors actually manage to figure out the data.
So I've just been told, Sasha, there's roughly a 10-minute delay in the predicted timing for the men. So you'll see men coming back out. There's Simon Benkert there, the Ticket to Rockstars winner from Los Angeles. Amazing competition there at Sender 1. Sender 1 by LAX.
I'll be curious to see how Simon does on men's number 4. He's a really great boulder outside as well as inside, and this boulder problem seems to be a little bit more aligned with outdoor climbing.
Flashed V10 multiple times, I believe. Very, very powerful climber. Likes a crimp.
Ito Futaba is so dominant in this round.
Futaba Ito there with that undercut. Pops up. Look at that press up the right hand. Oh, access denied. You saw that happen in slow motion almost.
Her hand just slid down that sloper. The top is no gimme.
For any non-American speakers, that means it's difficult. No gimme.
Look how strong Anika is.
Yannick Floe there with incredibly open hips. Very good flexibility, showing that muscular physique in the upper body as well.
I think, guys, Liam might have a crush.
Fun fact about Yannick, he's the first person to have his own sticker GIF on Instagram. If you go on Instagram and then add a GIF to a story post and search climbing or climber, scroll all the way down, you'll find animated versions of Yannick. Just a bit of fun.
Let's see if he can animate himself up to this zone hold.
See, we're in the flow now, folks. You're getting all the jokes. Yannick Floe reaches up with a left hand over himself. Futaba Ito goes slow this time, squeezes with the thumb, strong in the hips. A really nice top. Great style from 17-year-old Futaba Ito.
She really figured out the hard way how bad that finish hold was and changed her approach to go with her thumbs first. And that's something really creative by the root setters, and an amazing top.
Such intricacy as well, you know, that the root setters can force. You have to go with the thumb first, otherwise you're not going to stick it. Really smart root setting and equally smart climbing by Futaba Ito.
Something to note, Liam, in our next sets of training, train the thumbs. But I guess you do that on Instagram anyways.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm a big thumb fan. Like, I have been known to save so many on-sites because of the thumbs. Philip Martin not quite working out men's number 3. Claire is asking on YouTube, is it fair that these men got more of a rest between blocks? It's just the way it is, Claire. You know, technical incidents happen, and a rest happens.
We have Sierra Blair Coyle over on women's number 2, and Yannick still trying to figure out how to get over to that zone hold. That right foot hold is just so minimal.
Another factor to think of as well in regards to the extra rest, you could mention, actually, they might break their flow taking 10 minutes rest. Even though they've had longer, maybe that's not an advantage. Mao Nakamura out now in the women's competition for Japan, 19 years old. And in the men's competition, representing France, is Jeremy Bonder.
Sierra, let's see if she can generate enough momentum to use her height to her advantage. She kind of went straight inwards to the wall instead of to the right.
Sorry, carry on, Sasha.
No, I was just going to comment on another strong Japanese climber out in the field.
I don't think there's any weak Japanese climbers out in the field. Mao Nakamura finished 6th in Vail, made the finals, first finals of the season for her. Simon Benkert still struggling with that first move. Jeremy Bonder went to Moscow this year, competed there and placed 57th. That was his only World Cup, but he did make finals in Zakopane, placed 5th there. Has been a very prominent competitor in years gone by.
Mao is still trying to figure out how to get to this zone.
One thing I'll say as well, Sasha, is we're going to be doing live broadcasts later today. One immediately after the semi-finals on Facebook, in the Facebook live studio. We're going to be having guests from the competition. We're going to be having other special guests. Udo Neumann's going to be joining us. Volker Schöffel, Patrick and Dickey from the Gimme Craft. We might even have a guest. Kevin Jorgensen might be joining us. Alex Magos might even be a surprise guest later. So do make sure you subscribe to the Adidas Rockstars Facebook page. Hit that like button and add notifications so you know when we go live. Sasha and I are both posting our Instagram when we're going to go live as well, so that you guys don't miss that. Okay, another rotation now. Yerne Kruder is back out on the mats. There's Julia Chanaudy of France.
You know, it's really about how many swings you want to take, because there has to be a balance between swinging back and forth on the start holds and actually deciding when you're ready to generate, because every single swing takes a little bit more of your energy away from the tank.
There he is. The man, the myth, the legend, Chon Jong-won. There is Yerne Kruder. Look at that. Flipping things a little.
Yerne Kruder demonstrating some insane strength.
He's off his head.
Slovenian youngster, very successful in the youth and the juniors category.
Mia Krampel back out, 19 years old.
The Adidas ticket to Rockstars.
Or rather, this is her first boulder. Another one of the strong Slovenian team. Currently ranked 3rd in the world. 2 bronze medals this year, both in Munich and Wujiang. 5th overall world ranking in 2019. Placed 2nd in Hachioji in the lead world championships.
Jungwon Chon brought his dance moves to the finals last year, and we're hoping to see him in finals again for another Adidas Rockstars. He's such a strong technical climber.
Here we go, Jungwon Chon.
People often comment when I announce Chon Jung-won and say that I'm saying his name wrong, because it always comes up, look at that guy!
With ease.
At least try. At least try and make it look hard. So in Korea, you would call him Chon Jung-won. Out here, you can call him Jungwon Chon because that's how we would say his name. But out in Korea, and I've spent time with him out there. We've trained together out there a few times for the last 3 years. I like to do it how they do it, you know?
Are you doing the same sets, Liam?
Are we what?
The same sets as Jungwon Chon?
The same set? Yeah. I was setting boulders for him.
Yeah.
Just showing him how to do it, you know?
Yeah.
He's got a lot to learn, what can I say?
I've got a lot to learn from him.
Mia Krampel just trying to make sense of that move, kicking the right foot out. Yene Kruder goes again.
Yene Kruder is the first person to try out this right heel hook on that second black hold, except he chooses not to go that approach this time and doesn't secure that zone.
He, oh, that doesn't look good. Julia Chanaudy clearly in pain there.
She gestured to her knee. Not a
Bum
good
shuffling
sign.
off the mat. Irina Kuzmenko trying hard there on that left-hand side of the screen, and there is Max Kleesadel. 1 minute remaining. Urska Repusic, women's number 3.
So far, we've only seen one top in this boulder problem.
Yeah, we did think that this might be the hardest, but looking at the results, 4 might be the hardest.
Such a gnarly right-hand pinch.
Doctor there in the white shirt. It's Professor Volker Schöffel, official event doctor. Doctor to the official team, the German climbing team. Doctor to Alexander Magos as well. Many top climbers. You've seen him, right?
Volker.
Yeah. Volker's seen a lot of the top climbers in the world.
No, last year, Liam and I, while in Stuttgart, went for an 18-mile run. I was training for the New York City Marathon, and then I had a stress fracture, which Volker diagnosed.
Wasn't my fault. Okay, new rotation, changing the subject. We have more new athletes. Futaba Ito on number 4 now, coming back out as a new rotation.
Futaba is the current leader of this round.
Futaba Ito on women's number 4. Philip Martin on men's number 4. This time we should have Jeremy Bondare on men's number 1. Chloe Collier should be our next competitor in the women's boulders.
Eine der größten Erfolge, den sie feiern konnte. Mao Nakamura ist zurück für den Martin auf dem letzten Boulder bei den Herren. Und Futaba Ito meldet sich am Boulder Nummer 4. Yannick Chloe am Boulder Nummer 3. Der Bronzemedaillengewinner aus Essen.
There is Jeremy Bondare.
Philipp Martin an seinem letzten Boulder.
And there is Chloe Collier. Very powerful competitor, Chloe.
Chloe Collier has had some really great performances at Adidas Rockstars in the past.
She made finals last year, right?
She also came 10th at the World Cup in Chongqing this year, and 5th at the World Championships in Arco in 2015.
Yeah, Chloe Collier is one of those names that you consistently see through semifinals and always is just on the edge of finals. Although this season,
she made finals last year.
There's Dmitry Sharafutinov back on men's number 2. Those dual text morpho holds.
So far, this boulder problem has shut down the men.
Who's going to be the first person to top that boulder, Sasha? Men's number 2, who's going to be the first person to top it? Why not? Comment with your suggestions.
Let's not jinx it, though.
Sean is particularly good at those savage moves.
Tabaito getting so close to that zone. Chloe Collier was 6th last year at the Adidas Rockstars competition in the final round.
Very good morning to Eddie Folk, who's tuned in. Photographer and chief editor of the Circuit Climbing.
This is an approach that we haven't seen yet.
Face first. Here's Jeremy Von Der. Big hop with that left hand. Oh, and he just misses the left foot. Quick set of push-ups. Oh, and look at that! Yannick Floé, first man to top men's number 3. Sierra Blair Coyle back with us on women's number 3.
Sierra Blair Coyle hasn't yet had a zone hold in this round.
Current results, I can tell you the top 6 is Jeremy Von Der, Jerne Kruder, Alex Waterhouse, Chon Jong-won, Yannick Floé and Jean Chudar. In the women's, too tied to tell so far, it's not even worth reading out. We have multiple women all tied on 3rd place. Here's Dmitry Sharafutinov. Opt in for another. Oh, look at that. He's got the toe on the front, on the left hold, heel on the right. That's going to be such a hard move, Sasha.
He'll have to hold his body tension in order to move his left hand up. Now we have
Futaba Ito sticks that move to the zone, has the zone with a cheeky knee bar, reaches out to that hard, small crimp, and she's got that left-hand pinch. Now you can see she's got to go all the way over the arete, opposing slopers before she can get the dome that's on the top left-hand corner.
Thankfully, she has her chalk bag on her so she can generate some sort of rest and lock in that right heel hook.
Oh, heel popped just before she managed to catch that crimp. The closest we've seen anybody get there yet. Mao Nakamura not quite hitting that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing Great Britain, the Empire of Great Britain, 3rd place.
Now, guys, we have one of the top female competitors coming out.
We do indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the mats, bronze medalist in the World Championships in Hachioji, Shauna Coxey. We also have, joining us on the mats, 3-time winner of Adidas Rockstars, Sean McCall. Sean McCall. There's one thing that Shauna Coxey has a talent for, and that is breaking boulders. I have seen her do it so many times. She just broke that boulder
Shauna
so
Coxey
easily.
was the first person to match that second start hold and do that move statically.
If I had a microphone right now, I'd drop it. That was insane. I'm speechless, Sasha.
Shauna Coxey knows how important it is to get those tops in, and going out with the first boulder problem and flashing, that's the best she can do.
Now, she knows how important it is, but you wouldn't think she did, how chilled she just did that. It's like she was warming up. Absolutely sensational climbing there from Shauna Coxey. Back on the mats now, Chun Jong-won and men's number 2. Oh, close, very close. He was on the undercut of the zone.
Now we've got Sean McCall out for the men, another athlete that's already stamped his ticket to the Tokyo Olympics 2020.
As well right now, being the champ 3 times, hitting the bottle first. Momentum for the Ticket to Rockstars champion as well. So here we go.
Sean McCall here. Oh, look at that. Catches that crimp with ease. I was chatting to Sean the other night and he said that he's in his best bouldering shape that he's been for a long time. Oh! He bounced off the mat then.
Jamwon Chong, let's see if he can figure out this boulder problem. Problem number 3 has yet to been cracked to the zone hold. I'm curious to see if he'll experiment with that heel hook up high on the right side or use that stem position. He is taller than a lot of the competitors. Dropping a knee.
Really nice match there. Skipping the zone. He already has the zone. When I read this, I did wonder if the zone would be like, what's the word, would detract from the rest of the boulder because it's so low down and small. Now he's got it, he doesn't have to use it again. Smart, we'll see how that happens. This is men's number 3 now. Topped by Yannick Floet, catches the toe hook.
Yannick Kruder is really good at those moves that involve dynamic movements, to clutching on to terrible holds.
Urska Rapusic on women's number 4. This is Yannick Kruder on the top of men's number 3. That right-hand hold isn't terrible, but there's nothing to oppose for the foot. Sasha and I talked about this a little earlier. You've just got to hit it in such control. Here's Julia Chanardi. Obviously, that knee injury wasn't enough to stop her from competing. Mia Krampel on women's number 2. So you see he has to hop across, hit the left foot on that low volume, jump up and catch the hold with 2 hands, and then catch the toe hook around the arete. Really clever moves, a lot of coordination required. The route setter's doing a great job with that one.
Jamwon Chong making his way, using that zone hold this time to bump over. Seems like he needs to move his hand a little bit more.
Yeah, he needs to bump the left. Sean McCall catching that left-hand crimp with ease, sticks that right heel in. Oh no! It was a case of first go, best go by the looks of things.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, change.
So, new rotation, which means we have new athletes. Hung Ying Lee, 34 years old from Chinese Taipei, our oldest female competitor. And 20-year-old Kai Harada joins us on the mat in the men's competition. 2018 world champion. Yannick Floet back out on men's number 4. Chloe Collier back out on women's number 2.
Hier vorne ist Sierra Black Royal, US Climber. Amerikanische Meisterin 2018.
Is making his way on board
Jeremy Von Der back on 2, and there's Kai Harada on men's number 1.
Kai Harada managed to get his foot over left, which seems like a key ingredient in order to succeed on this first boulder problem.
I think it's the key ingredient.
Verletzt, deswegen auch nicht mehr im Olympia-Wettbewerb am Start gewesen. Letztes Wochenende am Samstag im aktuellen Sportstudio im ZDF zu sehen gewesen. Jetzt geht's weiter.
Oh, Yannick Chloé, schöner Versuch hier. Letztes Männerboulder oder Papier. Die Hand dort stehen lassen und hier sehen wir Hochfliegen liegen.
Auch schon einige Jahre immer wieder bei Adidas Rockstars dabei. A long-time competitor, ladies and gentlemen, from Chinese Taipei.
Our only competitor in the women's field from Taipei. She had a strong performance yesterday.
Young Chong ist weiter in der führenden Position mit Top-Boulder Nummer 1. Und 2 Versuche, das ist manchmal die Zone.
Mao Nakamura now on women's number 3.
Something that women's number 3 really requires is a strong pinch ability. The problem is built up of slopers and pinches on an overhung wall. Something, Liam, that I find really interesting as we watch this field of competitors in semifinals is the variety of body types and approaches to the different boulder problems. And as we see different competitors putting their different strengths to use, something unique about climbing is the fact that each climber has their own style. So Sean McCall, for instance, is a really quick climber, as is Adam Andra. And Chloe Collier, something that I've noticed about her climbing is she's really great with shoulder tension and really powerful moves.
1 minute.
Less than a minute remaining now on this rotation.
Wir sind mal ganz ungefähr bei der Hälfte der Athleten. Bei den Mädels noch ein bisschen weiter.
We're still yet to see many other women go about the same approach as Shauna Coxey did.
Jeremy Von Der just not able to piece that one together. Another rotation to go.
Yannick Chloé, nächster Versuch innerhalb der letzten Minuten. Schade. 20 Sekunden noch. Damit verabschiedet sich Yannick Chloé. Aktuell Dritter.
Okay. Rotations, rotations, rotations. More athletes coming out. This time in the men's, 27-year-old Russian athlete Vadim Timonov. And in the ladies, 2016 Boulder World Champion, Swiss machine, Petra Klingler.
Petra is also another competitor who's qualified already for the Tokyo Olympics next year. Shauna Coxey as well, approaching boulder number 2.
Auf der Damenseite die Schweizer Meisterin, aber qualifiziert für die Olympischen Spiele in Tokio. Willkommen zurück in Stuttgart, Petra Klingler.
What's up on flash for Shauna so far? What do you reckon, Sasha?
Shauna's a really thoughtful climber. She approaches the boulder problem always after having given it a good look. Something that she's really great at is figuring out sequences.
Interesting. So she had the beater right with that left foot. She was swinging the right foot to get the momentum across. Just didn't quite piece it together. Next go.
Here's Petra Klingler.
Petra Klingler. Very strong boulderer.
This
Not too
boulder
shabby.
problem.
Sorry, go on, Sasha.
This boulder problem has only seen 2 flashes so far.
Schaut doch ganz genau.
2 flashes? Actually, one flash
one
by
flash and
Shauna.
one top, yeah.
One top, second try by Ito.
And seeing it now, like, Shauna's beater is so logical. This is a real classic example of getting sucked into how it's been set, as opposed to how it could climb, you know?
And something creative about root setters is that they do have the power to misconceive climbers.
Right. All they have to do is slap a bit of chalk on a hole, make it look like it's been used.
Tricky.
Mia Cramp put on women's number 3.
Women's number 3 is a pure power problem generated by a lot of pinch strength.
Chon there on men's number 3 from the zone. Whoa. Just slipping off that right hand. Sean McCall on men's number 2.
I'm excited to see how Sean figures out this boulder problem.
Second oldest male athlete, 32 years old.
Sean McCall has been competing since I've known him.
Since before time began.
He's 32 years old. I first met him in Canada when I was about 11 or 12 years old, and we were at the Open Canadian National Championships. And since before then, Sean has been dominating.
Still on the right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, one of the top Russian climbers.
Unit Kruger with 3 zones in 10 attempts.
You know, something about Yannick Kruger is that he's had such success in competitions, but he's also been a really inconsistent climber across competitions. And I'm curious to see how he does on the next boulder problems.
It's different with all climbers, right? But for me, watching Yannick's style, I think it comes down to style of setting. You know, either it suits him or it doesn't. He's not very strong in World Cup standards. Of course, he's very strong, you know, compared to the average climber, but he's not as strong as some of the other athletes. He really shoots the bouncy boulders. He really shoots the weird technical moves that, you know, you kind of have to fall into. He's very good at that style.
Petra Klingler was just trying Shauna Coxey's beta of matching that second start hold, yet she slipped.
Oh, John just slipping off that foothold 1 minute to go.
It's no surprise to slip off that foothold, though. It's so sheer.
It's basically a colour on the wall. There's very
It's
little
wall
on
art.
it. Yeah, it's just wall art. It's a transfer, a sticker. But, you know, not to put Yone down, he's climbed 9A+.
Oh, he's an incredibly
He's a
diverse
total
climber.
monster. You know, he repeated Espontas, famous Chris Sharma deep water solo in Mallorca.
And just last year, he spent some time in Yosemite climbing big walls.
Yeah, not shabby.
Petra Klingler figuring out this boulder problem. She has 20 seconds left. Let's see how quickly she can move up the wall.
Just needs to not rush now.
Counting down.
Oh no! Petra doesn't quite make it!
It looked like she stalled a little bit.
Let's watch John now. Time is up, but this skin holds.
Something to note about them, though, is that wood feature that you see. We went up and touched the holds. It's totally sheer. So the blue and the white portion of those holds is actually the usable surface. The rest of it is kind of like artistic decoration.
2 new athletes, this time Sergej Tepishko of Ukraine and Lushka Rakovic of Slovenia. Sergej 31 years old, Lushka 18 years old. On your screens now on women's number 2 from Chinese Taipei, Ying Li.
Dimitri Sharapotino, wie erinnert euch im Style, einer der besten, Adidas Rockstar, Mao Nakamura, Kai Harada,
Women's number 1.
Jetzt den zweiten Versuch, am Boulder Nummer 2.
Lushka seemed to figure out that initial sequence quite quickly, and she's looking really composed. Here's that finish.
Easy top for Lushka Rakovic. 9th in the world on the world ranking, 7th in the World Cup overall this year. Best result was in Chongqing, in Moscow, where she placed 4th.
Großartige Boderin. Damit schiebt sie sich gleich auf Position Nummer 3 hinter Shona Kapsi.
Dimitri Sharafutinov now, not feeling those crimps.
Shona 6 Versuche nach Bode Nummer 2 gewesen.
Chloe Collier on women's number 3.
Yeah, this should be a problem that I think that Chloe, Chloe, I can find her names.
I like that.
Chloe can figure out the sequence. I think it's right in her wheelhouse. She's such a powerful, strong climber.
Only one person to top that block so far, Futaba Ito, who currently sits in first place for the ladies with 2 tops.
This boulder problem is all about timing. On the men's, it's all about finger power, it seems, and getting that left foot over to the left on that black volume as they go to the top.
Sergei Tepishko, one of our taller male competitors, struggling with that move at the beginning.
Der Altmeister hier am Boden von Dimitri Sharafutinov.
Erinnere dich dran, Sergei Tepishko, ehemaliger Champion im BEIJING Rockstars, ja, Events hier. Und seit vielen Jahren oder jetzt als Nationalmannschaftsmitglied unterwegs. Chloe Collier.
Made finals at this competition last year. Sergei Tepishko finished 6th.
He's qualified 4th at the World Cup in Munich in 2015.
Stars hier in die Qualifikationsvorwettkämpfe beginnen bei den Pro-Athleten unterwegs sind.
Kai Harada there, shaking out on the mats.
The run-up on the 2018 World Championship.
1 minute.
Letzte Minute.
Something that I find interesting to look at, Liam, as we watch these competitors is what shoes they choose to wear. Chloe and her Korean counterpart competing on the other boulder problem are both wearing high ankles, women's high ankles.
Yeah, I mean, for me, regardless of brand, I'm always trying to look at whether they're using soft shoes or stiff shoes. You know, what their toes look like. Is it super aggressive, or is it something that's a little less downturned? What kind of heel cup are they using? Kai here using a very soft comp shoe. Talk about it on the live stream. Not really seen that one before.
So close on that boulder problem.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, change.
Und wir sind bei genau der Geschichte, die wir eben erzählt haben. Sie war Ticket to Rockstars Teilnehmerin oder Context B Rockstars Teilnehmerin und jetzt bei den Profis grandiose Qualifikation gestern geklettert. Kommt aus dem Iran, 30 Jahre alt.
Petra Klingler approaching problem number 2.
One of our great climbers from Iran. Long way to go.
Petra Klingler on the boulder of number 2.
Totally different approach.
Petra
Totally different
Klingler trying to figure out how to get into this slab while navigating a dual text wall with 0 friction. Let's see if jacking her left foot up will actually generate any momentum over to the right. It's a long way, and there's no hold for the right hand. She knows how important every attempt is, so she's trying to stay on the wall without jumping down and approaching the problem differently. But if she can figure this way out, it'll be certainly the first woman to do so.
She has a chalk bag, so she could hop back over and swing.
It's been interesting to note which competitors have chosen to climb with a chalk bag. Yesterday we saw Shauna, Petra, and Miho.
Und hier ganz links außen Mia Kampel
often you'll see the athletes take them off as well. You know, if it's a longer boulder or it looks like a boulder where there's a move that you can chalk, then they'll wear them, and if not, they take them off. You see there, Elnaz Rekabi, the Iranian climber, her chalk bag was on the floor, but it has a strap on it, so she can put it on if she needs to.
Well, Liam, you don't want those extra ounces when you don't need them.
It makes a difference, mate, especially when you're as bad as me. Elnaz Rekabi looking like she's trying to work out those moves. Shauna with the feet first method there.
Shauna hatte richtig Spaß.
6 Versuche momentan am Boulder Nummer 2.
Hat aber auch schon einen Top und das Ganze ist 2 platziert im Moment.
Here's Vadim Timonov, men's number 2.
Vadim Timonov. Nia Crumple on the very far left. Jan Monchon again on boulder number 4 for the man, the final boulder.
Vadim Timonov is going about this problem in the same approach as Jarne Kruder.
You know, talking about shoes, you can see Shauna's wearing something that's very flat in the foot, good toe rubber, and a very secure heel. And opting for some very interesting beta there. She was tying herself in all sorts of knots.
She's trying to secure that zone hold, but I'm not quite sure if she controlled it enough.
In Colorado, close to Boulder.
Look at that, first time we've seen anyone get up to that move. Chun Jung-won using that left hand to press over with the toe and then reach the pinch on the underside of those volumes, which are particularly difficult. Those pinches are tiny.
Sean McCall is one of the shorter competitors of this round.
40 seconds, guys. 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Petra is still trying to establish a static approach to women's number 2, but it doesn't quite seem to be working.
Oh dear, Mia Krampel with what looks like bloody fingers. You see the spots on her leg there where she clearly dabbed the blood.
Something that I've noticed in a lot of these competitors' Instagram feeds is after the competitions, photos of their fingers, and they just look pink and raw.
I mean, it's just the new PU holds that are being used, often brand new, heat in these arenas, multiple attempts. The boulders, you can't just flash them. You're falling off, squeezing hard.
You can basically imagine rubbing your fingertips on sandpaper and then throwing them back on the holds.
5 minutes on, 5 minutes off. Come on, Shauna. That's the most peculiar method I've ever seen.
Stuttgart, come on, let's hear it for Jan Monchon. Is this up top on boulder number 4?
So he sticks that crimp over the lip, takes the zone with the right hand, and this is the tricky move now. Look at the size of the pinch on the underside of that volume. That's what he needs to take.
Now this problem, Liam, we looked at and we were considering, if you go right hand or left hand, the top of that ball sloper is actually dual textured and the top is really slick and shiny.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the most difficult one for the men.
It's interesting to see the route setting this round. It seems like it's quite challenging. At least it's separating the competitors. But we would like to hopefully see some more tops. But coming out soon, we do have Ganya. But before that, we have Charlotte Andre.
And in the men's competition, joining us is Anje Pehat of Slovenia, who actually won the Slovenian National Championships a few weeks ago. There's Luška Rakovic of Slovenia.
Luška jetzt auf den Boulder Nummer 2 bringt. Das sieht schon richtig gut aus, schon im ersten Versuch. Hat die Ahnung und weiß schon den Kopf.
Steps across. Long limbs. And Luška able to kind of effortlessly get her feet onto that first blue volume. Oof, Domen Skovic there, another Slovenian athlete.
Wir aus Slowenien begrüßen Domen Skovic. Our Slovenian lead specialist
looks like from the results, we have a massive tie in the women's field after 5th place, which is held currently by Petra Klingler. Following that is a tie over nothing.
Yeah, well, I think that's fine as long as it's not the top 5. When it gets to the top 6, then we're good, right?
Well, we've got several really strong competitors still to come out, so it's looking like we'll have quite the stout finals crew.
Yeah, I think so. Hung Ying Lee back on runs number 3.
Hung Ying Lee on what looks like the most, well, maybe second most powerful boulder problem. Women's number 4 still looks really steep and challenging as well.
Still no tops on that one either.
Keiner war so weit wie Jungmann schon am Mode Nummer 4.
Aber Jeremy Mollet ist die Augen weit aus und sagt, es geht.
Chloe Collier on
Die Schwierigkeit ist, du bist im vollen
women's number 4.
Pendelbewegung, die Beine ganz weit rein. Das ermöglicht nun mal die neue Banking Climbing Wall. Full texture wall.
Luska Rakovic opting to stand into the wall this time. Oof.
It's been really interesting to see which competitors have chosen to go about this boulder problem in a static manner versus a dynamic, and it seems like the dynamic has really worked better than the static.
Charlotte Aubry, ganz rechts außen, Rolle Nummer 1. 4 Versuche bisher. Sortiert sich nochmal und jetzt Versuch Nummer 5.
Charlotte André, French athlete there.
Going about with a double dyno approach to get that zone.
Die weiteste Route bei Ito. Und schickt nochmal einen Applaus rüber an die Wand, bitte, damit hier die nächsten Versuche
Nice. Jeremy Vondair surprising himself, almost catching that right hand and matching him with the left. Looks like it could work as well if he can keep that swing under control.
Ja, die Rückenbauer sind ja selbst extrem gute Boulderer. Das heißt, es wird immer so geschraubt, dass das letzte kleine Pünktchen ist, was die Rückenbauer vielleicht manchmal selbst nicht schaffen. Muss ihr aber wissen, wo es weitergeht. Letzte Minute, 1 minute. Charlotte André, Hung Ying Lee, Chloe Collier, Jeremy Mollet, Kai Harada.
Luska Rakovic now on women's 2 rather, just stalling out on that move again. Oh, and Dominskovic so close there on that last move. Still time for one more go.
Halbe Minute, 30 Sekunden. Da geht noch was. Kai Harada.
Dominskovic managed to get his foot over left, but not enough in time.
Der Vize-Weltmeister von Innsbruck 2018 aus Japan, Kai Harada.
It's really looking like in the men's competition, first block is a crucial top. Going to need that one to be in the top 6.
Die Liegestütze nach hinten, die Popcorn-Tüte in die
More athletes coming now.
Jetzt heißt es Showtime.
Another rotation. First out in the men's, Tomoaki Takata, double world champion in the ladies competition. Coming out now, Janja Garnbret of Slovenia.
Sean McCall approaching men's number 4. I really think that this could be a problem that fits his style. It requires a lot of finger power, and he certainly has really good core tension.
Janja fell off first attempt.
Gesturing to brush the holds, I reckon that they're definitely getting greasy.
Ist so dominierend gewesen wie Janja Garnbret.
She's absolutely dominated this season. As I said already, the only climber in history to have won all of the rounds consecutively the bouldering season.
Janja is one of those competitors that if she's not winning, it's kind of a surprise, which is pretty abnormal. She's also wearing the women's high ankles, which is actually a stiffer shoe than some of the other competitors.
Petra Klingler, Model Nummer 3. Genau, Riccardi, Model Nummer 2.
Sean McCall am Model Nummer 4.
Ja.
Martin Timanov am Model Nummer 3.
Elnaz Riccardi on women's number 2.
We've got Bruce King weighing in. We'd like to see 4 tops for Janja, as would we. So far, she's struggling to get that zone, though, surprisingly. Now she's got a new approach.
Using the method that Shauna Cox used on her flash go, skipping that sloper altogether, standing up off the zone, up to the jug, and an easy top.
Janja is such a deliberate climber. She's both strong and also agile and graceful. It's really impressive to watch. She has this perfect balance of going about the problems with the strength she needs, but also the talent and the technique that doesn't waste energy.
Just seemed to be holding her hand a little bit there. See her in her left hand just flexing it. She was feeling in her finger and in her palm. Hopefully nothing to worry about. Oh, Sean McCall almost catching that double. I mean, it's not meant as a double hand, but almost catching the double hand. Oh, and that's Riccardi, you absolute savage.
That would be a really impressive double clutch catch on that volume.
Insane amount of energy to use that and get that momentum over there in the way that she just did.
Let's see if Petra Klingler can hold on to this boulder problem. And she's going that foot first approach, which doesn't seem to work out yet for her.
Futaba Ito still in first place for the ladies with 2 tops and 3 zones.
As you can see in the results, though, the falls to top really make a big difference as well. Keeping Shauna up at the top of the pack was the fact that she didn't fall on her top is problem number 1.
Unless Riccardi, it looks like she stuck it, wedged in between those 2 holds.
Oh, this will be an amazing mantle if she can pull it off.
The tricep strength. See that again.
Oh, the core tension alone should be a little bit of a half bonus score.
Absolutely amazing effort from Elnaz Riccardi.
Janja Gambray replay for top of problem number 1.
Oh, can't believe Elnaz stuck that. There's Tomoaki Takata, first we've seen of him. Not managed to stick that top move just yet. On the crimp with the right hand. Oh, and you see that right heel that he didn't release in time, just held him back there.
23 seconds to go, about 40 seconds.
Coming out soon is Aimori, who qualified tied for first yesterday with Jessica Peels and Miho Nanaka. And on the men's side, Liam, who we've got.
The men's out next is Keita Doi.
Another strong Japanese climber.
I think you can just say strong Japanese climber and always be right.
I think you can just say Japanese climber and assume he's strong.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I meant, yeah. Came 5th in Hachioji this year in the bouldering.
5, 4, 3, 2.
No tops for Petra Klingler or Elnaz Riccardi this time.
These boulder problems are just shutting people down. They're so physical.
It's what they've got to do, though, Sasha. You know, these setters have to separate these athletes. Field is stacked, as you've already said. Domin Skofic of Slovenia on men's number 2 now. Still no tops on this boulder. Both Kai Harada and Chun Jong-won have the zone, as does Yuene Kruder. Charlotte Andra on women's number 2.
So far, it's looking like on the women's field, in order to make finals, you'll need to top a boulder problem. Aimori making headway past the zone hold.
Just 16 years old. Good.
Based on yesterday's performance, that wasn't even a surprise.
Yeah.
She had a way of making the boulder problems look really easy, which I know they're not.
And there's Hung Ying Lee on women's number 4 from Chinese Taipei. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Kai Harada up there on the top.
Is that the first top we have of men's number 4?
Yeah, we'll get a replay of that in just a second.
Yes, Kai.
Here he goes, took that pinch. Look at that, toe hook to that horrible Gaston pinch. Leans over the left hand. To the top of that horrible slimy dual tex hold. And a jumping mantle.
Mori, replay, her crushing that first boulder problem, her first try.
Japanese really bringing the fire now. Luska Rakovic on women's number 3.
Luska Rakovic from Slovenia came 17th at the World Championships in Hachioji.
There's Keita Doi. Oh, just missing the bottom of that jug.
Der deutschen Skibergsteiger-Nationalmannschaft ebenfalls.
Really impressive display of flexibility. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like this method is going to work out for the female competitors who approach this boulder problem in a static way. Hung Yang Lee is still trying to figure out how to get a zone in this round of semifinals.
Die besten 6 kommen ins Finale, Adidas Rockstars 2019.
Really nice move there that she catches that foothold. Just struggling to isolate that right hand so she can release the left.
Switching techniques, maybe she'll go about it in a dynamic way. A little bit powered down though.
You can see she wants to let go with that left hand, but just can't quite commit onto the right.
And then she tried to go right hand bump, which isn't exactly my sequence of that boulder problem.
Nor mine. Charlotte Andre getting a little closer, but still not quite close enough. Oh, very close that time, Sasha.
Just touching the zone, but not enough momentum over to the right.
Look at that with 5 seconds to go. Keita Doi tops on men's number 1. Really nice rotation over that left foot. Kicks the right foot onto the wall to stop the swing.
Coming out next, we have Jessie Pills, another athlete who qualified and tied for first yesterday, and Yanya on problem number 2.
Oh my gosh, and she did it with my method. Yanya's getting style points for that one.
She is trying to figure out how to get over to that top. It's a little bit of a blind approach.
We did talk about this, Sasha, and
without a doubt, such a reigning champion. She is so impressive, and she's just so dynamic. while at
know
the
what
same
to
time
say.
just so graceful.
What do you even say to that?
You are my hero, Yanya.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'll go with that. Absolutely exceptional climbing. Just, yeah, hats off. Aside from Yanya, there's a lot of other climbing going on. Florian Klingler's joined us on the mats. You can see him on the far right-hand side of your screen. You can actually see the results as they stand right now. Futaba Ito, Yanya Garnbret, Shona Coxey, Aya Mori, Lushka Rakovic, and Oriane Berton. Those are your top 6 so far, all to change still. In the men's competition so far, Keita Doi in 6th, Alex Waterhouse still clinging on to 5th, Yannick Floe 4th, Jean Studar 3rd, Kai Harada 2nd, and the one and only Chon Jong-won in 1st. I'd love to see a super final between Chon and Harada.
With the results that we have so far, it looks like Yanya has already secured her place in finals, as well as Ito, and likely Shauna Coxey as well. Petra Klingler is currently ranked 8th.
She really needs a top here. Here's Elnaz Rekabi.
Elnaz Rekabi is one of 3 competitors from Iran. Super strong showing.
Look at that, Jessie Pills on block number 1. Good work from the Austrian climber, Innsbruck world champion last year in the lead comp.
Top 6 for Jessie at the combined world championship in AJOG.
Vadim Timonov there on men's number 4.
Jumaki Takata.
Tomoaki Takata now in that double gas down position. Shifts the hips leftwards. Drops the left knee. Undrop. Oh, that is a deep drop.
Secures that zone, though. That's a rare thing in the men's field on this boulder problem.
So looking at that, Sasha, he had the zone, and that right hand looked like he needed to come along a little bit so he could free up the zone. There was just too much on that right hand.
He needed to transfer his weight a little bit more on his left feet and move his hips over to the left so he could bump up onto that next hold past the zone. It's always easier watching and knowing what to do.
Yeah. Florian Klingler here, topping that boulder, relative ease. Strong, strong climber, a lot of power. One of the shorter athletes as well. Oh, let's just watch this again. I love the doubt. She was like, come on. Yeah, just do that. Yeah.
And Jessie Peels as well with just such determination. It's really impressive to me to watch the competitors who are traditionally from the lead background, like Jessie Peels won the World Championships in lead in Innsbruck, yet also has already stamped her ticket to the Tokyo Olympics for 2020.
We did talk about it a little bit earlier, Sasha, but Jessie's really up to game in the bouldering, you know. Excuse me 1 second. She's really up to game in the bouldering. Traditionally, she was a finalist. She would often make finals, but would rarely podium. And now, she's a threat. You know, she can really be up there. World ranked 2nd. Got bronze medal in
Chongqing.
Was it Chongqing or was it Rujiang? Yeah, Chongqing. You're totally right. I remembered it was China. And you know, she's a real threat these days. And she's been in super finals before, if I remember correctly. I have to check back through my paperwork, but I'm pretty sure she's been in super finals in the past as well. Miho Nanaka joining us now on this new rotation, our final female athlete and finalist in the Innsbruck World Championships. Great Britain's Nathan Phillips is out next.
Miho Nanaka is one of my favorite competitors to watch. She has a really graceful style to her. Even choosing to use that left hand sloper, she controlled it with such tension in her left hand. She was able to still get over to that zone hold. Another competitor who climbs with her chalk bag.
I mean, if you had a chalk bag that looked that good, you'd climb with it, Sasha. Oh, access denied. First person we've seen fall off the top hold.
Just slight hesitation whether she should use her heel hook or not. And you can see that her left foot started shaking a little bit. Maybe she got concerned about how to move up to that finish hold.
2016, Jessie Pills was in the super final against Janja Garnbret, and you had remembered seeing her in a super final. Janja versus Jessie was the 2016 round. I think that was the round that Janja did the pancake. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to watch the 2016 final when she topped out. She pancaked on the top. It was quite amazing.
What does pancake mean?
You have to watch it, mate.
For those of us who haven't seen it, Liam, we need a description of the pancake.
The semi-finals is due to finish in about 40 minutes, so you can watch it then.
Miho's gesturing to brush those holds.
Sergei Topishko on men's number 4. Just to remind you guys as well, we will be live here in the live studio at 2, at 5:15 and at 7:15 local time, so extrapolate your local time off that. 2 o'clock, 5:15 and 7:15. At 2 o'clock, we're going to be doing a semi-finals post-show. We're going to have the winners from the semi-final, also the ticket to Rockstars wildcards, and we're going to have a chat with them, talk about the competition, how they felt, what they thought about the route setting, etc., etc. If you have questions for them, please send them in. At 5:15, we're going to be in the studio with Udo Neumann doing some technical analysis. We'll also have some of the route setters, and also Volker Schöffel, Mihona Naka top in there with ease, nice smile to finish as well. Notice that she's not wearing any shoulder tape. It's the first in a long time. Has got that forearm tape on though. And then at 7:15 today, we'll be live with the final pre-show.
You know, it's interesting, she ended up going with that heel hook because her first try, she had the heel up. Then she decided to move the heel and just go for the jump, but it didn't work out for her. So turns out her initial intuition was correct.
Here's Aimori on women's number 2. Not quite working out the methodology there, trying to stop herself in the middle.
Luchka working against gravity.
Domin Skovic now going static on men's number 3. Look at that, Sasha.
Aimori is struggling to get over to that zone hold.
One minute.
Sergei Topishko switching between Egyptians there to try and find the best body position. Currently sitting outside the finals qualification, so really needs a top if he wants to be in with a chance. Aimori getting all sorts of momentum going, and just drives by that zone.
Domin Skovic just missing that double dyno catch. Domin Skovic just landed that zone on problem number 3 for the men.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, change.
Bei den Mädels werden wir weniger. Wir sind Jessica Pilz, also Foto Nummer 1 bei den Damen, ist durch. Jessica Pilz, Foto Nummer 2, Janja Garnbret.
So we've had all our ladies out now, Sasha. We're working down through the rotation. Still have 2 more athletes to come after this one. New male athlete is Japan's Yoshiyuki Ogata. Yoshi is 21 years old. Very talented climber.
Janja Garnbret on problem number 3.
It is enjoyable. Jessie Pilz, Janja on boulder number 3.
Yoshiyuki Ogata making quick moves.
Had a really amazing season this year, kind of came into his own after just not quite having the success that you would have expected from someone of his caliber. He's such an exceptional athlete. Finally came away with a podium ranking in the overall.
I was actually at the Vail World Cup in this year where he placed first.
Yeah, so deserved, so deserved. And then also a bronze medal in Moscow as well. Really cool to see him succeeding. And Yagan Brett falling off there. Women's number 3. There's Anje Behart, Slovenian national champion. That's more like it.
Getting that left foot over is certainly the key to holding that tension and not barn dooring off that finish hold on problem number 1.
Nice to see that beaming grin from Yoshi there as he tops out. I have to say, Sasha, and I talked about this a little bit last year, most stylish team, definitely the Japanese.
Well, we can have the audience weigh in.
Well, the thing is, they don't get to see backstage, you know, we get to see them, and normally they'd be in their Japanese team kits, but here they are wearing their own clothes, and they bring some serious steez. Florian Klingler, forget steez, he's got strength, top sight on men's number 2, and that is the first top that we've seen on it, and that should be enough to secure him a place in the final.
He really came out and seemed like a really dominant competitor in this round. Here's a replay of him on men's number 2, which has proven relatively impossible for the other competitors.
Even just that move there where he skipped his hand across, really strong. A little shorter as well, so fits into that gap, bumps the left hand. Yeah, very nice.
Yanya Gambray has secured the zone and is now mantling up past this pinch. Let's see if she can figure out the thumb first towards the top.
Let's see if she can. Reaches up. Doesn't need a thumb first because she's just that strong. Goes slow and tops.
You know, you watch Yanya climb and you think, oh, maybe that hold actually is good. And then you go up and look at it and you're like, no, that hold actually isn't good at all. 3 tops so far. Definitely going to be seeing her in finals tonight.
Tomoaki Takata on men's number 3 now.
Und wenn man es dann sieht, wie es geht, sieht es so vermeintlich easy aus. Verrückt. Nächster Woche Jessica Pilz in der letzten Minute. Ändert die Karte. Kommt nochmal ein Tape.
Jessie liegt jetzt auf der 7. Position mit 2 Bouldern oder einem Boulder. Lisa ist am 2. Boulder. Here we go. Fast dran.
Jessica, noch extra Versuch.
So Elnaz Rakabi now on women's 4.
Thank you, Anna, for coming to Stuttgart.
Jessica Peel is just missing that zone on problem number 2.
Zurück bei den Ladies. Boulder Nummer 2 für Mira Nacker. Aimoria Boulder Nummer 3 und Charlotte André. Jetzt ist am Boulder Nummer 4.
Question coming in on YouTube, is Florian the brother of Petra? Well, he isn't, but the big clue there is that one competes for Austria and the other competes for Switzerland. Can you imagine competing against your other sibling on a different team?
That would be pretty neat to be siblings but from different countries.
Possible as well, I guess.
Possible, yeah. Miho Nanaka out on women's number 2, and got men.
Kokoro Fuji of Japan, 27 years old.
We're coming down to the last competitors out.
Kokoro's such a strong climber and such a fun climber as well. Really, really exciting to watch. Best result this year in the World Cups was 4th in Meiringen.
Easily got that zone hold and that heel hook up. Coming down on that right hold and just slipping at the top. Mori, one of my favorite competitors of this competition so far.
So tiny as well.
She just holds her core tension so well. You can tell her contact strength is amazing, the way that you look at her hands on those slopers.
If I was 20 kilos, my contact strength would be amazing.
You wouldn't look good at 20 kilos.
No, I wouldn't. And she's not 20, but she is very small.
Also, that is a really annoying thing to say. I'm just going to call you out right now.
Sasha's giving me the evils.
And say, you cannot say if I was that light.
No. It's mainly jealousy, let's be honest. It's mainly jealousy. She's exceptionally good climber, very, very strong, and has already earned her place in the finals with just that one top.
It's looking like we'll have a tight finish for the top 6 on the women's side. Miho, Nanaka, and Jessie Peels are still out competing.
Yeah, Jessie currently outside the qualifying position. Keita Doi looking for holds that don't exist on that blue thing. You can't call it a hold. Like, it's on the wall, but it's not a hold. The profile of it is so, so low.
Domen Skopic over there trying to figure out men's number 4. He's also an amazing climber outside as well as a competitor. Also from Slovenia. And I don't know if I can publicly say this, but I think they're pretty public about it. Boyfriend of Janja.
Yeah, they're public enough. I mean, if you couldn't publicly say it, you've already said it, so.
If I can say it publicly, I'm just going to announce it.
Oh, hello, Kokoro. Cheeky little top there.
Kokoro Fuji, not wasting time.
Miho Nanaka getting a swing on women's number 2. Oh, just missing that top part of the zone there.
Talking of style, I love Miho Nanaka's style. Both her climbing style, which is very graceful and determined, but also her clothing style is always on point.
Team Japan.
Charlotte André, noch ein Versuch in der letzten Minute, in den verbleibenden 45 Sekunden. Miho Nanaka.
Getting so close to that zone hold, she got her body over. Not enough height. Nathan Phillips had a really strong qualifier performance.
Not feeling it though on that one there. No tops for him so far. 2 boulders to go. Oh, and look at that. Miho stuck the zone and sticks the top.
She always just climbs with so much determination. When she looks at the hold, it's like she's a cat pouncing towards it. She doesn't miss.
The speed with which she kicked down then, though, it's so aggressive.
Trying to figure out which climbing shoes she's actually wearing. There's some new 510 prototype, perhaps.
We'll have to sneak a peek of those in the athlete lounge later.
2 tops for Miho has secured her place in finals so far.
Current finalist lineup is the following: for Slovenia, Luška Rakovic; for Japan, Mori; Great Britain, Shauna Coxey; Japan, Miho Nanaka; Japan, Futaba Ito; and Slovenia, Janja Gandra. In the men's competition so far, 7 men looking like they could get in. Alex Waterhouse and Yoshiyuki Ogata in 6th, Yannick Floe 5th, Jean Sudar 4th, Florian Klingler 3rd, Kai Harada 2nd, and Chan Jung Won first. Janja Garnbret now on women's number 4. No top so far on this boulder. Could Janja get 4 tops?
I'm really curious to see how she figures out this boulder problem. I would think that the right heel hook is a pretty crucial ingredient.
I think the question is not could Janja get 4 tops, it's how quickly can Janja get 4 tops.
She's trying a right toe hook, which double toe hook now.
That toe hook could work. If you can let the toes go and use that momentum to swing up, got to generate a lot of that right arm, but theoretical, it's possible.
The positive thing about toe hooks is it enables you more height.
There's Veze Gregor Vezenik. Tops number 1 with ease. Nice flash for him there. 24-year-old Slovenian starting the competition with style.
Jessie Peels is looking at problem number 3. Really strong competitor out of Austria. The Austrians have always had such a strong competition field, from Jakob Schubert, Angie Eider, Jessie Peels out now.
Anna Stor, Kilian Fischuber. And that's just in the last 10 years.
It's incredible if any of you guys have been
Going through my head.
A lot of international climbers actually travel to Innsbruck strictly on training trips. Yoshiyuki Ogata doing a drop knee and securing that zone. See if he can get his body over.
Well, he's got that left hand, but he looks really strung out there. Little pop at the left hand and he's off.
Looks like he needs to distribute his weight a little bit more to the left.
Janja's going up for another look.
Looks like she's on a sport climb right now.
She doesn't have a shot bag.
She's resting and making these holds on this boulder problem look pretty positive.
Hasn't found the cheeky knee bar though.
Now she's using that heel hook to keep closer body tension.
Oh, and she almost sticks that left hand. Still has time.
I think she's put a key to the lock on this problem. Let's see if she has enough time and energy to get to the top.
To turn the key in the lock. To continue the metaphor.
Thank you, Liam.
You're welcome.
So close. Her hand just slides off that hold. Florian Klingler, not related to Petra Klingler, from Austria, another Austrian.
So far, the only climber to top men's number 2.
Nächste Minute kann man Stuttgart vor Janja Garnbret, Tomoki Takata, Yoshiyuki Ogata, Florian Klingler und Jessica Peels.
What Janja might not know being out on the competition floor is that she is ranked first going into finals. You know, it's interesting because when you're out on the competition floor, you know relatively what your competitors have done, but you definitely don't know the ins and outs of what sort of ranking you actually are at. So you can see that Janja is still fighting to get to that top, but this might be it for her in semifinals.
Ladies and gentlemen, Janja Garnbret, the women's champion in the semifinals so far.
3, 2, 1, change.
Wake up back on the wall, Mironaka van Aimori. And on the men's side, Kokoro Fuji, Nathan Phillips, and Keita Doi, boulder number 4.
The youngsters are back in the house.
You guys, I didn't know what shoes Miho was wearing.
We get a closer look now though, maybe. Hard to say what they are.
I know.
So Miho Nanaka presses down with that left foot.
Miho Nanaka wasting no time at all to get her knee up.
Technical knee. I'm a big fan of a technical knee. Double technical knee. Go on, Miho. Miho would win the Hero Award if she got a double technical knee. Classic mountaineering tactic.
Is it?
Oh, mate. Technical knee? Are you really a climber if you can't use a technical knee? Miho Nanaka just drops off there. Gives herself a moment to have another go. And now on ladies 4, Ai Mori.
Ai Mori, one of those lights of this competition. She's done so well in qualifiers.
Only one top for the semi-finals, but she's still in a finals position. Kokoro Fuji now on men's number 2.
Das sind wahre Dual-Texture Volumes. Auf der einen Seite glatt wie ein Kinderpopo.
You can see how shiny these black holes are. That's because they are super slippery. Only the part that his hand is on is actually textured.
Really solid isolation over that right hand. Oh, and just pops off the left. Like to take that as the crimp and lock that down. Very impressive crimp stroke.
Adidas Rockstars champion Kaita Nohi and Ai Mori. Let's go, Gamba Gambai. Gamba Gamba.
Ai Mori has gotten that zone. Could she be the first woman to top out problem number 4?
She's such a tiny competitor. I really feel like this next move is a big jump. But maybe she can.
She succeeded with that toe hook.
Ooh.
But she needed to move both of her toes out from under that roof in order to maximize her height.
Nathan Phillips on men's number 3. Still no tops for him so far. Currently sitting in 22nd place.
Ganz anderer Eingangsweg. Bisher so noch nicht gesehen, die anderen alle mit einem kleinen Ober.
Kaita Doi just struggling on that move over the lip on men's number 4.
Miho Nanaka not wasting time in her effort.
Anpassung des eben Gelernten einbringen in die Lösung dieses Problems.
Creeping those left fingers onto that hold into the pinch position. Gets the toe on this time. That's what she needed to do.
She knows
look
about
at
that thumb.
And that bolt hole. Finger in the bolt hole.
Miho Nanaka has just secured her place in the finals for tonight.
3 tops for Miho. That'll put her into 2nd place.
Somit hält Mio auf Position Nummer 2.
3 tops and 3 zones. Yanya with 3 tops and 4 zones. Miho could still go into 1st place.
Miho Nanaka has just been bumped up to 2nd place with that top.
Alex Waterhouse now down to 9th position, sadly out of the finals. Current top 6 in the men's is Jan Studar, Kokoro Fuji, Yoshiyuki Ogata, Florian Klingler, Kai Harada, and Chonjong Won.
So, jetzt kommt der Griff außen das Volumen mit sehr viel Kraft nach innen drücken. Ja.
Ai Mori is only 16 years old. Such an impressive competitor, and we'll be seeing her in finals tonight.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, change.
We've got Jessie Peels, who is fighting for her spot in finals tonight.
Yeah, she's currently sitting just outside the finals with 1 top and 1 zone. Lushka Rakovic with 1 top, 1 zone, 1 attempt faster is ahead of her. So Lushka Rakovic with 1 top in 2 attempts and 1 zone in 2 attempts. Jessie with 1 top in 3, 1 zone in 3. Any zone now would put Lushka Rakovic out of finals and Jessie in.
Some men that we won't be seeing tonight in finals include Sean McCall, Urine Kruder, Alex Waterhouse, Yannick Floe, and many more. Another 20 competitors who don't make the top 6. Weigh in the comments on our live feed if you have anyone special that you'd like us to include in the studio as we do the post-semifinal show and the pre-show for finals.
Yoshiyuki am dritten Roller.
Der 5. Moment zwischen Kurkata.
Yoshiyuki Ogata just having a little trouble on those first moves in number 3.
Stuttgart ist voll hinter dir bei deinem nächsten Versuch.
I want to give another shout out to Alex Waterhouse again. I know I've already mentioned him a couple of times, but he really came in as an outsider, qualified from the Ticket to Rockstars events, managed to place yesterday in the top 3 T2R finalists to make a place here in semi-finals, and is going to finish in the top 10. Amazing work to finish top 10 here amongst some of the very best climbers in the world. Gregor Vezanik of Slovenia on men's number 2.
Yoshiyuki Ogata ebenfalls. Drüben. Jetzt kommt der Griff, kriegt er den gehalten.
Got that left hand, drops that left knee, matches him with the right to take the zone.
Das Top.
Großartig! Great job, Yoshiyuki Ogata. Third place winner am Bronze Brothers and JOC World Champs 2019. Damit hält weiterhin die
Florian Klengler now.
den besten 6.
Currently in 3rd place on men's number 4. Takes that crimp and amazing strength there to pull those legs back in. Decides to take the pinch in a conventional grip as an undercut instead of a Gaston. Yeah, I think he needs to have it as a Gaston.
Bis jetzt war es nur Harada am Boulder Nummer 4. Flugsinger, der momentan der Führende ist im Semifinale, Klasse gemacht. Rein in die Nase, jawohl.
There's Gregor Vezanik sticking that again.
Die Österreicher unterhalten sich kurz. Heftig, aber sehr selektiv. Adidas Rockstars im Finale und der Gegner. Er ist der Einzige, der Boulder Nummer 2. Also unsere Viererei, der Getrauer
Für Chelsea geht es Duschen oder weitermachen. 7. Position momentan, 5 Versuche. Jesse braucht ein weiteres Top oder eine weitere Zone, wieder einzuspringen in das Top 6 Klassement. Flugländer, neuer Führende. Januar schon 2 Karada 3, Yoshiyuki Ogata, Gregor Vezanik, Okoro Fuji. Da kann ich mir viel.
Gregor Vezanik now, oh, just missing that again.
Coming down to the final seconds before we'll see if Miho Nanaka can pull the lead from Yanya Gombre going into finals. That's the end of Jessie Peels' attempts. It looks like she may have just missed the final cutoff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right there, Sasha.
Und folgt jetzt auf Miho Nanaka am Boulder Nummer 4. Die Titelverteidigerin.
Miho Nanaka back out for her final boulder at the semi-finals.
We've got a thickening crowd going out on this Saturday morning. Hopefully any of you guys in the nearby region of Stuttgart come out to the live finals tonight.
Kokoro Fuji on men's number 3.
Okoro Fuji, winner of the Asian National Championship in 2018, second in the bouldering World Cup Oval 2016, at the Hachiyoshi World Champs. Nathan Phillips on board at number 4 for the men. Gamba Gamba Miho.
Miho Nanaka powerfully getting up to that zone hold. We still have not seen a finish of this boulder problem.
If you make this one, you're the queen.
Miho rolling over that left hand.
It'll be curious to see if she chooses the heel hook or the toe hook. In my opinion, the heel hook keeps your body closer into the wall, but the toe hook enables you to have more height moving around the bulge. Bicycle.
Jetzt hält sie den Greifzug hinter hoch.
3 minutes, 15 seconds, Miho. 3:15.
Miho needs to finish this boulder problem in order to take the lead into finals.
All other boulders are empty.
Nice stick of that toe hook from Kokoro Fuji, who has the zone now.
We want to get you there. Yes.
Oh, and just misses that right hand, catches it well with the left.
Wunderschöne Cheetah-Berührung von Norway.
Nathan Phillips having trouble with that fourth boulder.
So far, ranked in our top 6 are, for the men's side, are 3 Japanese and 1 Korean. And then on the women's side, top 6, we have 3 women from Japan.
Oder Nummer 3, 4 Athleten haben den bisher getoppt, getanzt haben.
Just replying to our live feed, Alex Migos supposedly is in the house, and we will try and get him into the studio.
Just to remind you guys, we will be live in the studio here at 2 p.m, at 5:15 p.m, and at 7:15 p.m. local time. At 2, we'll be doing a post-show for the semifinals. We'll be talking to the winners of the semifinals as well as our Ticket to Rockstars wildcards. At 5:15, we'll be doing technical analysis with route setters Udo Neumann and our doctor, Volker Schöffel. And then in our pre-show, we'll be looking at some of the best action as well as talking to Kevin Jorgensen and Alex Megos, hopefully, here in the studio. So stay tuned for those. Make sure you like Adidas Rockstars on Facebook to be notified of when those broadcasts go live.
Einklemmen, sogar aufgestellt den Fuß, um besser greifen zu können.
Kokoro Fuji just having a little trouble on those top moves. Needs to look on the bright side and find some anti-gravity to hit that hold at the top there. A little bit more power off the left hand. Or try matching and then going again. Miho Nanaka with 45 seconds on the clock.
Ist klar, was passiert ist und welche 6 sind Adidas Rockstars Finale geschafft haben.
Oh, just not quite having the power to hit that zone. Looking a little tired actually, I think. Kokoro Fuji catches the toe again onto the zone. Oh, and went static with the left hand this time. Tried to hold it down with the right, didn't quite work. 10 seconds. Oh, pops there. Miho Nanaka on the floor. She did qualify though in second place. So that's the end of the ladies competition.
Jetzt aber 2 Herren noch. Gregor Sonic, das vorletzte Mal, oder Nummer 3 und er verabschiedet sich aus der...
Once the judges have signed the results off, we'll be able to confirm them with you, but right now, Miho Nanaka is through to the finals, and I can tell you that the top 6 in the ladies competition is Rushka Rakovic, Shona Coxey, Ai Mori, Futaba Ito, Miho Nanaka and Janja Garnbret.
The men had a slight delay, and that's why we're seeing the men still finishing out the semifinal round.
The finals tonight. Right now, still a chance. Gregor BEIJING, Yoshiyuki Ogata, Yoshi sitting in 4th place, Gregor is sitting in 6th place. Nothing can happen to these guys anymore.
The bathroom.
Kokoro Fuchi in 5th place.
Gregor Vesenik of Slovenia. Men's number 3.
Nächster Versuch, Podium Nummer 3.
Yoshiyuki Ogata on men's number 4. Catches the crimp and almost holds it, but that swing back in just dry fired off it. Gregor Vesenik, oh, popping off that zone there. Catches the toe hook on the zone now, better this time. Really nice. Oh, he had that top hold. Very, very close. You see there, Gregor Vesenik opted to go 2 hands to the first of the cheetah holds.
Come on, Gregor. Komm, Stuttgart. Wollt ihr den Top nochmal sehen von Gregor BEIJING? Top Slowenien. And Yoshiyuki. Gamba, Gamba.
Oh, and Gregor Vesenik opted this time to bump across and didn't quite stick it.
Leute, ich zeig's euch gleich. Das hat er gerade gesagt.
Ihr könnt euch gar nicht vorstellen, wie ihr ihm helfen könnt. Kommt mit einem Riesenapplaus vom Stuttgarter grandiosen Publikum für Gregor BEIJING und Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Gregor Vesenik hitting that zone again. And he sticks it this time. All he has to do is hit the top. Nice high left foot. And there it is. Great effort from Gregor Vesenik. And he was already in the finals, but there's absolutely no doubt at all that he's through now. Awesome work from the Slovenian. Really nice dedication there, Sasha.
Absolutely incredible.
Great top. Just to remind everybody that's watching, we will of course be live this evening for the finals. We begin the broadcast, I believe, at 8:15 local time. Adidas-rockstars.com/live is the website that you can watch it on. It'll also be on YouTube and Facebook. The main broadcast, if you want to watch it, will be adidas-rockstars.com/live, or you can watch it on TV, depending on which country you're in. Broadcasting, I believe, in 36 countries, live on TV this year.
Coming down to the final 2 competitors. Got Kokoro Fuji.
Und für euch Stuttgart, Kokoro Fuji.
Kokoro Fuji secured his place already. Sorry, Sasha. He has secured his place with 1 top and 3 zones, but a top here would be a really lovely way to finish.
We've only seen 1 top of this boulder problem so far, and that was by Kai Harada.
Yeah, Kai dominated that last boulder.
Coming up after semifinals, we'll be doing a semifinal post show with the winners of the semifinal round, as well as the T2R wildcard winners.
Kokoro Fuji takes a moment, still has time.
Wir ehren uns richtig mit DJ sehr weit oben. So knapp. Der Österreicher. Die ohne Welle. Das sein Konzept nochmal anpasst. Jetzt nächste Aufnahme.
Fuji back on now. Whoa. Fierce crimp with the left hand.
Gemerkt habe, ein bisschen weniger Körperausschlag und ich bleibe hier dran. Also das Pendeln reduzieren.
It's been 26 competitors on these climbing holds. So as the field comes down to the wire, the holds definitely get a little bit compromised. You can see that there's people there to brush the holds, but they get greasy, they get chalky.
Also wenn er an die Zone kommt.
He's so close to sticking that, Kokoro Fuji. You see there as he comes back in, that left hand dry fires. The right hand was going as well.
This is your day, Kokoro. And this is your crowd in Stuttgart. Come Stuttgart. Die Einladung zu der Kokoro Fuji. Gamba Gamba Kokoro. Gamba Gamba.
That would have been a really impressive one-arm hang.
Das ist natürlich jetzt noch nicht die Worte holen hier. Wenn der meistens qualifiziert ist.
Clock's ticking down now. Kokoro Fuji, our penultimate athlete.
Sean Foxy, Lucia Rakovic, Einoli, Tutalento, Mionaka sind die 6 Athleten qualifiziert sind für das Semifinal. Für das Finale. Here we go! Kokoro!
Kokoro secured that zone hold. Love to see him top out this boulder problem. It's only been done once before.
Oh! That slopey, greasy, shiny top of the ball. Rejecting Kokoro Fuji.
We will be seeing Kokoro in finals tonight.
He definitely will. Qualifying. Unless Gregor... Oh no, his position can't change. He's in 6th.
Yep.
Yeah, Gregor Vezonik could change his position. Currently sitting in 5th with 2 tops, 3 zones. Is the best he could do is... He could... Gregor Vezonik could actually come first still. If he was to flash the next boulder, just looking at the results quickly, if Gregor Vezonik flashes this boulder, he'll be in 1st place. Current 1st place, Florian Klingel with 2 tops, 4 zones, 5 in 14. Gregor Vezonik with 2 tops, 3 zones, 9 and 7. So it would be 3 tops, 4 zones, Gregor's result.
Besichtigen, rauskommen, also rauskommen. besichtigen. Erst die Elften, jetzt nur noch 4. Aber erst Platz 5 für den Slowenen. Bei den Herren also dreimal Japan.
Gregor Vezonik back on now. Oh, little rotation.
Gregor Vezonik has already secured his place in finals, but again, would be awesome to see another top by him. That would bump him up in the board. Actually, if we see a top by him on this final boulder problem, it would lead him into first place going into finals.
Sasha, I literally just said that.
I'm just repeating, so we can build up the anticipation for Gregor's performance on this boulder problem.
Ah, Sasha. Sasha's paying a lot of attention to the paperwork right now. She's making notes for our live broadcast as well as checking through the results. Do tune in at 2 if you can on Facebook. Adidas Rockstars on Facebook. I believe the Facebook page is called Rockstars Community. Make sure you hit that like button. We'll be going live at 2. We'll be live on Instagram as well, at Adidas Rockstars. We'll do our best to monitor the comments and etc. You can ask questions of the athletes that we have in the studio. I can tell you now, we'll have Alex Waterhouse and Simon Benkert in there first, as well as Janja Garnbret. And depending how Gregor Vezonik does on this boulder, either him or Florian Klingler.
Die letzten knapp 3 Minuten.
Are you ready, Gregor? We want this top. Come on, Stuttgart. We want to have another top on boulder number 4.
Gregor Vezonik takes the opposing crimps, taps with the left, up to the crimp with the right, goes left hand, oh, and just doesn't hold that swing again. You see his legs rotating around, just puts so much strain on that left hand.
It's a really tough boulder problem because it requires you to hold this little crimper with your left hand as your feet swing out in a barn door coming over that bulge.
Japanische Spiele. 3 Japaner bei den Herren, 3 Japaner bei den Damen.
I really like it when the athletes sit down or kneel down on the mats. It's really calming to me. It's what I would do. I feel like when I stand up between boulders, I'm like still stressed, whereas when I sit down, I like chill out a little bit. What about you, Sasha?
It really depends, you know, it depends the time on the clock, and also I think that it's really strategic to take rests when you can have them because you have a short amount of time and each try really matters. Tonight we'll have only the top 6 competitors and it'll be elimination. So the best performance will move on from the top 2 boulder problems to the next round of the 3rd boulder problem, and then the top 2 performers will be in the super final, which is a really unique way to go about a bouldering competition that's unique to the Adidas Rockstars competition here in Stuttgart.
So we can quickly finish up with those results now. A little bit later than we'd planned. We had that men's technical incident. There are the ladies' results. Top 6 going through to finals. Slovenians Lučka Rakovic, Shona Coxey from Great Britain, Ai Mori from Japan, Futaba Ito of Japan, Miho Nanaka of Japan. Look at that. Japan. And then top qualifier, no surprises there. Slovenia's Janja Garnbret qualifying in first for our finals later today. Making up the bottom of that table, lots of people with no tops and no zones. Some big names there as well. Sierra Blair Coyle, Alma Bestvata, to name 2, and then all tied all the way down to the bottom. So, yeah, tough semi-finals in the ladies. Let's take a look at the men's results. Florian Klingler in first for the men, Jungwon Chon of Korea in second, Kai Harada of Japan, and Yoshiyuki Ogata of Japan in third and fourth respectively. Gregor Vezonik of Slovenia in fifth, and Kokoro Fuji of Japan in sixth, making up your finalists for this evening. And then a really strong table all the way down, and a little bit more separation between the men, but still, after 14th, many ties. very tough set. In just a few moments' time, we're going to be live in the live studio on Instagram and on Facebook. Make sure you tune in. We'll have the winners of the semi-finals, Janja Garnbret and Florian Klingler, as well as T2R champions Simon Benkert and Alex Waterhouse. Sasha, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Liam. I look forward to all of you tuning in tonight at finals, and it should be an exciting show.
I cannot wait. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Liam Lonsdale. It's an absolute pleasure as always. Lancashire's finest, Graham. Tuning out. Good afternoon.